angle with that nade. That could be dangerous. Angle with that nade. That could be dangerous. They should hear the pin pull here. Zedwolf knows that Twix is stepping there, and there's a rock up. There's a third party coming through from Vampire. This is going to crash into the back of GOAT team, so they cannot go for this engagement. Vampire playing in the foothills, but this is only 2 of them, and Vampire actually going to probably turn around off this shift flank because it's hard back towards Yasnaya.
At least you have information, because the circle moves north, and it's again now a pretty nasty circle. For DXavier, they're quite happy with the position they hold, but for the Flash, this is a very much winning position for them. Absolutely winning position. You have clear sight lines over towards that eastern side as teams start to approach towards you. They really only need to deal with Mad Bulls, and Mad Bulls have to leapfrog a lot of buildings to get here, which gives plenty of time for Flash to dig them out of those trenches as they try and wade through.
I think Vampire's going to be pretty pivotal in how successful Mad Bull's going to be. Potentially E-Arena on this north side as well. From that shack, they have a lot of sight lines, but they do need to take it first, and it's not going down without a fight. 2 players fall on the inside. Marth cleaning house, not quite. Mormon able to step on in when his team needs him the most. They're dropping the smokes now, and they need to try and live this one out. But the north side, again, for E-Arena, if they can clean this out, great news.
NC2, me, blocking my smoke.
Oh no, catches the heel there. Not friendly, not nice. Catch for Ulf, did flex all the way out to the east side. Vampire still doing a lot of damage, but it's actually Silas who chimes in for another knock towards GOAT team. There is an answer though. Oh, he's flushed away. Okay, hang on a minute. Kaya losing players. They've actually, okay, they moved ahead. I was wondering, why are they taking shots from that back? Don't they need to get a move on? But no, they already did. But they have moved in with 3. That should be fairly successful here.
But Magnum Kaya, they are at 3 still, so they're not doing terribly. Wild is down again. That's a 2v4 versus Vampire, and you start to believe that it's gonna be rough now for Regnum Kaya. Already had a fairly decent game though with the 7 elims they were able to get. Zedwolf just peppered at the moment. I think for Regnum Kaya, likely they go down soon, but I think they'll be quite pleased with this match so far anyway.
Zedwolf
could go better.
1. Oh, he's traded. Killer Joe there. Loxy tries to move in to save his teammate, but he's flushed away very, very quickly. The roll down not going to quite connect. Catches on a mission, on a wide angle. The off angles are there, and Vampire now trying to stop this fight dead in its tracks. 2 players still for Regnum Kaya. Go up in smoke. GOAT soon to follow. Divided and conquered by both Vampire and Ulf. The flex outs working wonders.
Tony K, what a player this guy is. Has always had a huge amount of talent, and is now looking to prove it here at PMGC. Catch goes down to Meowlag. And Ulf realizes maybe they bit off more than they could chew here versus Vampire.
You don't want to get into a chewing contest with a Vampire. That's just a terrible idea. All things considered, there are far better things to be going for. Although Wolves, pretty good chewing themselves. An age-old rivalry. We'll have to wait and see how that one's going to come on through.
They choked on their group stage.
Yeah, okay. All right, that's fair. Vampire didn't even play a group stage. Shift into Flash's favor. How many points do they have, though? 0. They've got no elims right now, blank. And it is very much one of those late game, not gambles, but investments, right? It's a late game investment for Team Flash. They have put a lot of, well, they have a lot of presence on this East Point, as you were highlighting earlier. We'll see if they can maintain against some incredibly strong teams here. Going to look to try and take it from them.
It's still a weird circle in the sense that wherever it goes next does change the way the game plays, right? There's multiple circles in the past where no matter really what it does, there's still one team that has that really strong spot. For the Flash, though, if it starts moving out towards the north side, they start to have a difficult game. It's tough decisions ahead of them. Lovely shot on Aaron, though. On the moving vehicle. Luckily, Solus is there to find Turney.
And that was 3 players in the same vehicle, just getting sprayed down. Scarface, a complete broadside on that rotate. So just Joker remaining for E-Arena. I thought maybe, but no. They weren't the ones to save me. Not this time.
Ulf is ahead of him here. I think for Joker, he's not long for this world. They also have sightlines on him, right? They already took tags over towards this guy, so I'm pretty sure they know where he's playing. Ooh. Vampire make their way up, though, towards Flash. Flash have to remove these players.
Yeah, they're window shots, not quite landing on towards Vampire on their approach. And already found an opening. This is not good news for Team Flash. Not many placement points if they go down here and now. That is not ideal. Joker trying to make his open dash. Zeus will be getting rest in the meantime. I think Mad Bulls need to think about moving now. Think about moving in towards the position of Team Flash. Maybe move a little bit further south. Get across that road potentially. We'll have to wait and see what they go for. Ulf also marshalling their forces. After losing Ketch, they're playing as 3, but they've got this hillside.
You're concerned with the next circle, though. I think for Mad Bulls, they don't want to cross this road, because what happens if this moves north? What happens if this moves down towards the southwest? There is a lot of changes that can happen here, where then suddenly Mad Bulls have a prime position. Sadly, that is just the case right now. So teams can't make these rash decisions too early. For Ulf, they're likely just going to hold on the eastern side as well, because you'd have to wait for stage 7, stage 8 to truly understand what kind of rotates you need to make.
Come on, Team Flash. Let's start getting some elims here. It's about time. They really need to earn these points. I'm getting a chicken dinner here. Pretty solid stuff, if you can find it. Vampire, though, they have been very effective on that south edge. Ulf going for the crash. Okay, they're rolling in from the east side over towards DXavier. A lot of damage. No damage from the fire. Solus is next to fall, though, and DXavier with 2 hold out the first wave from the east side. Just Scarface now remains. A little bit of a lackluster roll up there coming on through. Over towards the DXavier corner. It's going to Flash, though, with the circle. Blank. I mean, they have to get points on this. They have to get more.
You've got to translate this game. And if you don't, then life gets real difficult. Especially being in 16th place right now, this has to be the game that Flash really gets things back under control. If you can't win this match, you are starting to look a little bit scared for the Flash, because this is very much a winnable game. And with Vampire, who, like we said before, didn't play any of the stages of PMGC, they are our invite team. To go down to this squad, that would be a little bit unfortunate, no?
I think so. I think so. Ground floor now, though. Under pressure, the Mad Bulls make the dash. Team Flash give ground. I don't think this is a terrible idea. You can't hold this with Vampire being in the wings, right? You cannot go for that fight with Vampire in such close quarters. They're already nading out your positions. They will third-party you at a moment's notice. It's going to be a 3-way fight, I think, for this one. I think it's safe to say this fight is going to be our final 3.
Yeah, for DXavier getting in from this northeast side, very difficult.
Oh,
Scarface will try and put those long-range antics to good use for himself. But more likely looking for the top 3 here. Try and live things through as long as possible. You can see what kind of open ground he's crawling into. It's likely one of these players will spot him at some point in the near future.
This 3-way standoff, I think, kind of helps Team Flash survive, but does slow them down. I saw an explosive bow. I just saw an explosive bow. I didn't realize we'd invited Sook. What's going on? He's not supposed to have
lives
qualified.
on. The legacy lives on.
Oh, it's there. In Team Flash's hands.
I mean, it's good. It's definitely good for clearing out these types of windows. So I don't mind it. I really don't mind it.
Outside. They find their first point. Blank. That is good news. All right, they're off the mark. Surely now they get the rest of them too. At the moment, there are 10 more eliminations that they could possibly find in this lobby. Getting 11 would be great. I think getting 6 and a chicken dinner for them at the moment would be a good result.
See how Vampire handle this late game. See how DXavier attempts to remove themselves from this position, but I'm pretty sure Flash, Mad Bulls, they'll all be looking their way.
I think you deny here for DXavier. I think this is a deny situation. Maybe you send one in, try to have a weird third party, but I think you just deny the points.
It's getting to the wall, right? But again, there's so many angles looking at them that it's very unlikely. They have to be so aware of when these angles change that they can make this move. But as time has progressed, as time has moved on, this is now what they know to be one of the only viable spots remaining that is about to be out of zone.
You know what? This is an explosive bow angle. Over towards, wait, DXavier are going for it. I thought they were going to hide in the shack and wait for the blue zone to envelop. Team Flash take some shots, but no.
If they get to the wall, it's fine.
Okay.
It's a question of getting to that wall, though.
The smokes are there, and there are two really difficult angles for them to deal with. They've blocked off that high ground from Adbull so far. Paragen still have the cover. They haven't breached that one just yet. The back smoke's fading, though. And they will start to run out of util here. They are investing all the smokes they have. Levi's gets across, just about hitting the deck. Is he safe from the Mad Bulls? No, not quite. The Molotov's over as well. And Levi's is there. Lazarus steps out, and everybody wants a piece of the pie. Levi's goes down, and the point is earned. Oh, that's by Mad Bulls.
Now it's Paragen remaining, crawling against the wall. It's a tiny gap, and he gets shot through it.
Oh, dear. Oh, Bose finds the ankle. Pusher steps up very, very high there. Bit dangerous to step all the way up because you do still have Vampire to worry about. I think if Pusher gets too bold here, could be disastrous. Paragen getting... Okay, yeah, surely... Well, surely not. Paragen across?
He stutter steps.
There it is.
He stutter steps it. That's actually very cool. And the nade does not make it far enough. The stutter step was crazy because he runs out, stops it early, and if you're tracking that via gyro, that really ruins your whole spray.
He's across, you said. If they get up to the wall, it's dangerous, but there's only one of him. Surely he can't do that much, but a knock over towards Team Flash. I mean, the blue zone's going to push everyone in. Blank, this is the final zone. Our last three teams. Tom can't connect on the spray. Paragen evading these bullets. Another nade is getting cooked up, and Top just looking to pop a stim. The res is coming through in the meantime. Vampire are going to have to close down on this one, and Tops finally gets rid of the thorn in their side. 4 players now on every remaining team. Another point added to the tally for Team Flash, but only 2 so far. They need more.
Vampire looking for this chicken dinner. It's an awkward position to play. They are lacking the high ground. We're in stage 9. We're about to close all the way dead center, and no one really has advantage here because no one wants to play in the courtyard.
Ooh. Great
nade from Flip, though, to start things off.
That should be a flush, nice and easy, but another knock goes over towards Vampire. Mihala goes down. That should be reasonable, but the blue zone's putting a lot of pressure on. Vampire trying to dash across. Zeus trying to track through the smoke, but a little, again, a stutter step coming through. Lemon moves out in the meantime. Now he's up close and personal. Nade still in the pocket for Vampire, though, but a lovely lineup from Zeus to find another onto Vampire. Mad Bulls, the only team now with 4 players alive. 2 elims on side. The Mad Bulls will be denied entry. Nobody now healthy. Pusher moving forwards. Team Flash starting to lose players. Wind drops down in the off angle there and is the last player to go. And he will go up in smoke. A low elim game and Team Flash denied.
God.
Vampire now burning in the sunlight under pressure. But 4 players alive, just about dodging it. A bounce on the nade and 2 Mad Bulls now. Look at a charge through the Vampire. On the off angle though, there is nothing to do. Oh no, it's self-made. Disaster strikes and Lazarus with a bad bounce. Steps up, a challenge, 2v2. Niola now needs to come up big. Goes for 1, goes for 2, no! How on earth do they let that go? Vampire on their home ground fall to a self-nade. Lazarus, what are you gonna do? And a miraculous turnaround for the Mad Bulls.
Actually, diabolical moves towards the end there. That nade ruins everything. But I will say one thing. The Molotov sent through the window. It got sent through the back window, through the side window, onto the shack. That was really, really well played from Mad Bull. Super good knowledge of everything in that area in terms of terrain, in terms of building geometry. Gorgeous. I mean, they were helped along slightly. And then I also really wish that Meowlag came out of the shack a little bit earlier.
Yeah, I feel like maybe that could have gone either way. The 2-player lineup with an auto shotty, you can make it happen. It does exist, right? But they were on the snap and they were able to find that shutdown. But yeah, a big misplay there for Vampire. Give that one away. Team Flash, they cannot make it either. We're going to be heading back to the desk. They're hopefully going to have some insight into how that match happened.
Are you kidding me? The biggest upset so far in the finals. Mad Bulls pull out the chicken dinner.
I'd go even further. Are you flipping kidding me right now? Flip with the roof angle right into hospital to the eastern side of Yasnaya Polyana, using the angle to the absolute limit. And that Molotov in particular, disrupts the entire setup of Vampire, and they had to go back and try and heal up, which enables Mad Balls to go down the building, over that little wall, and actually start to compete against Vampire for that win, and they snatch it away at the very end of that match.
I mean, the timing that Mad Bulls was able to take over control from Police Station from Team Flash was just perfect, and here at the end, making sure that they win those fights. This squad ends up with 13 eliminations, and it's not even from the player that we're used to seeing, Max. It's not from Lemon. Everybody else starting to show up. Tulika right there with 3. You got Pusher with 5. Flip with 5 as well. But I got to go back to this squad. Making sure that they assert their dominance in Police Station. Making sure that Team Flash backs off. And it was the winning play for them.
Yeah, clearly. Also a good play from Team Flash because, like, we have these 2 really strong buildings. We can't hold the 2 buildings as a full squad. We have to relinquish one over. And I think Mad Bulls understood. They're just going to say, hey, we want to take control. They give it up. They kind of work together. A symbiotic relationship, right, between Team Flash and also Mad Bulls. And it works out beautifully for them. So Mad Bulls, again, keeping up that momentum they built up during the league stage.
And to be honest, I want to see Team Flash be a little bit more assertive or their dominance. They shouldn't have given up that one. And I got to go back. I'm going to have to rip this team apart this early on because they were able to allow Vampire Esports to crash without losing any players. And for the longest time, now you're having to worry about what's going to be happening, right? Which gave the opening to Mad Bulls to end up overtaking Police Station. You gotta be able to make sure you defend a building, Team Flash, early on in that match. You cannot just be conceding those buildings over and over again to these top teams, or you're gonna end up like this. If they would have stayed in Police Station, guess what? We would have been talking about Team Flash getting the win.
Yeah, it could have been Team Flash to take the win, but unfortunately that was not the case. We know what was the case. Regnum Karia fighting T+ once again. It keeps happening. They have a vendetta right now after they're like, no island finish can save you this time around in 2025. It's been looking good in the early stage, but man, late game, so many wide rotations. We saw RA go for it, trying to go for this fight, but APG, at one point, Doc was going to split.
Yes.
The fight breaks out 7, and he instantly regroups. They don't win the fight, but it's good to see that he's willing to fight with a team in close quarters.
Hold on, Max. Repeat that for me. What did Doc do?
He regrouped with his team.
Oh my goodness. I can't believe those words are coming out of your mouth, considering how many times we have talked about Doc just being a solo player for the squad. I mean, APG, finally, here in the grand finals, at least after 3 matches, even though things don't end up going their way there in this last match, it's good to see that they're starting to readjust to those little mistakes. And one thing that even after ripping Team Flash apart, I gotta give them some props. This team, from what I saw in this game, is much better at pushing the action than defending the action. If you find them in a spot where they're able to defend it, they're gonna give away that round, but there at the end, when we saw them being a little bit more proactive, they were able to get some knocks.
Yeah, I do like how they're willing to give positions away if needed, so there's not going to be too big an issue. But here we go, looking at the wide rotations. We had Regnum going for their very clear rotation, and so will Vampire, that are renowned around the world as a very slow edge-focused team when it comes to their rotations. And here in particular, the circle going up north, they just go control Alamo, have an initial 2-2 split, and then you're going to see here this play is very good because you have Kara fighting Regnum, and then go into Heaven south, and they see that like, well, we can just leapfrog that and take that position. Vampire, they are so smart. They know how the lobby responds to certain situations and certain circles, and they are able to take the position to kind of bully the other teams into submission.
I've been talking about Vampire. I wanted to see what they were going to be able to do here within the first 3 matches. If it was a team that was going to end up contesting for that championship, even though they didn't get anything done in regards to league stage, they weren't able to play because they were that special invite. For them, I'm super impressed with the way they've been able to work out. I mean, you see right there, Mad Bulls with 23 total points, Vampire with 7 eliminations. Props to them for deciding to back off with the fight. I think it was against GOAT, and GOAT ends up crashing on Regnum Karia and just asserting. As soon as they noticed that, Vampire was like, you know what, Tony K, get a little bit closer, start sending some nades.
It's good to say also that normally as a Primorsk team, this is a circle that's very far away. We're like, okay, well, Military Island, the previous game, they're very close, easy rotation. Almost on the complete opposite side of Erangel this game, right near Yasnaya, and they have a very good rotation. The slow rotates on moves like that are very appreciated for Vampire, and I feel like Vampire, for a team that did not play the league stage right, we have to keep that in mind, are looking so damn ready. The amount of homework they should have done behind the scenes for these finals, the prep was done, Hodgix, and so far it's been performing exactly as planned.
Yeah, the work has been done for sure. I mean, the zone timing, the shifts, these teams are on point here. You know, and speaking of, we're talking about zone shift, what about utility usage this game, right? That pre-molly. was insane, Max.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Ulf should have sent the full squad on that position personally, but yeah, Xavier, we know we're getting crashed maybe 5 to 10 seconds ahead of time. We Molotov the window and also the door frame on the east, meaning there's only one entry point, and if you come up, guess what? Instant shotgun to the face! And that worked out greatly, and Ulf, unfortunately, as we saw, could not deal with that Molotov. It was too well positioned.
Yeah, it was way too well positioned. And then talking about more utility, one of the crashes that ended up happening with Vampire Esports getting closer to the squad, I mean, they started throwing those Molotovs towards Team Flash, making sure that they weren't going to be getting any of those angles towards the window. As well, we saw nades. At one point, we even saw Vampire getting a knock on one of the players. They weren't going to overcommit, but that utility usage right now, very, very good from this squad.
Actually, when you were talking about Flash, you wanted them to eliminate Vampire upon entry point, which I understand.
Yes.
But I feel like Flash wanted to fight Vampire, but because those buildings have so little amount of windows, they're like, we want to fight you, but we can't because of the building and how it's built up. It's just not quite possible. So like, okay, you know what? Best of both worlds. We're just going to coexist together for the time being. They wanted to, but this situation, what can you really achieve?
I didn't want them to commit.
No,
I just wanted them to make sure they got at least 1 or 2 eliminations with Vampire coming in, because they didn't have anybody else getting off angle. Sometimes we end up seeing those teams make that push, leaving one player behind. That was not the case for Vampire. Vampire full push with the squad. They had 1 solo, another solo, and 2 in a vehicle, and it worked out for them. And I mean, that utility that I just mentioned is honestly what gave Vampire that 2nd place finish.
Hey, crazy plays from teams, crazy utility usage, but also some insane plays from a single player. Can we talk about Parajin right there towards the end? Parajin making it happen, Max.
Parajin! Very happy about it. No, genuinely, how does he make it so far?
Dude, that was wild.
Who was he going up against?
He was going against, who was it? It was Flash,
Team
right?
Flash. Yeah,
Team
exactly.
Flash.
Once again, Flash.
Yeah.
It's just letting teams get too close to you. Come on, Flash.
Ooh, flip MVP of the game, and we were expected it. Actually, I'm really happy they used that roof angle on Hospital to the east of Yasnaya as long as they possibly could. He had to jump off eventually, right? Because, well, Blue Zone will not let you stay in that position for too long. He's like, okay, at least even if I can't get the elims, I'm still going to get information of where the players are positioned, and I can kind of direct my team in the perfect entry point in that circle. They do win it off the back of that. So that information gain from Flip and also the frags, like the 5 elims, were so impactful for them to make sure they got that chicken dinner.
I agree 100%. I think that was the reason why they won that match. Just be able to have a good idea of where Vampire is, where Flash is. They put in that work there towards the end. We take a look at the leaderboard, 7, and we definitely got some shakeups.
I mean, we still got APG right there at the top. Look at the top 3. DX, now Mad Bulls with that performance pushes Vampire in 4th place. Something I want to keep an eye out on, though. I want to go all the way to the bottom. Your defending champions of PMGC, 2024 champions, D plus Kia. So far, they've only been able to put up 5 points coming through eliminations, and guess who's stopping them? Yeah, that's right, the 2nd place team, Regnum Karia.
Oh, that's right. 2nd place. Oh, yeah, from last year.
Yeah,
I was like, wait, they're not. They're
from last year. From last
No,
year.
but is this a targeted attack, right? Are they like, we now they rotate, we now they drop, we've done the research. Is this a vendetta for real? I don't know. It could be.
I just saw Silas. He winked at me. He winked at me. That's crazy. But
It's
you know what?
intentional.
We got a quick break, guys. We'll be right back.
shatters the silence in the morning. Call your name, I see the doubt. We're falling too fast without a warning. But if you stay, you'll battle by my side. They'll never ever win the day. No matter what they say, this mission ain't broken. Don't take what is spoken. Our path ahead is still unknown. This battle ain't over. Let's walk through the fire. Wash out our fear, fight to the end. Here we go again. The scars are still fresh, but we will overcome the pain. The lights will never fade. This mission ain't broken. Don't take what is spoken. Our path ahead is still unknown. This battle ain't over. Let's walk through the fire. Wash out our fear, fight to the end. I never will hide from choices that we have made. I never will lie, forget the rules we're breaking through. Can we fight till the end? I will carry you, never abandon you. Let's fight until the end with you.
And we're back, getting ready for the final day of the final Aerogale of day number 1, right? Let's get it going. So, Max, you know, we were just talking a little bit about Regnum Karya, right? What did you really like seeing from them in the last match?
I love how they died in that. No. Generally, I like how they played Heaven because Heaven was getting a little bit busy.
Yep.
There was Kara, they push up, they defend it. Then Goat Team tried to go for a push ahead of them, which
Yep.
that was a very good play from Goat Team. And Vampire trying to get involved in that conversation. Most teams, I feel like, would just be like, let's wait for the fight to break out and third party it. But in that case, move ahead. Really smart play from Regnum.
Yes, well, of course, we got to go give some big love to the Infinix GT30 series, the official gaming phone for 2025 PMGC. Engineered for precision, performance, and victory. Go get your hands on one so you can outplay the rest. Also, guys, we got to make sure you get your predictions in, right? Day number 1 is almost over, right? So you got a little bit of an extra advantage here. You got some info, right? So hopefully you can go ahead and get some of these sick rewards, Max.
I got all my rewards already.
Really?
Even though my predictions were terrible, I still got enough points. I got everything. I
Nice.
got everything wrong. So if I do it, you can do it because we all know my prediction game is very bad.
Yeah, I mean, who is it that you have right now with DRX? It's still early on.
Shut up,
Okay.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at the top 4 gunslingers here, 7.
Yeah, I'm going to be looking, honestly, Regnum, Wild. This has been quite a performance, not just from Wild. One of the players that's not even here, too, Luxy.
Yes.
They've been performing so well in Team Flash. I got to give him some props, too. CEO's right there. 557 damage.
Yeah, I really like actually talking about Regnum Karya.
Yes.
To go a little bit deeper on this team. You're talking about Loxy. I feel like Loxy is the clutch guy.
Yes.
He's like, you give him a 1v4, 1v3, he's like, that's impossible. But I am Loxy. And he does, and he performs really well. Wild is like the consistent performer for this team, always putting up numbers, securing really strong positions. He's the guy that every situation thrown his way, he's going to get consistent results on board. And even with Z-Wolf, we even haven't talked about him. In the background, he's also putting up numbers. And Silas is putting these guys in the best position imaginable. With this entire squad, the synergy of this team is looking amazing here at PMGC.
Would you agree with me on this, Max, in regards to saying that Loxy, this feels like just a breakout performance for him in regards to as a solo player?
Yes.
It honestly does, right? Winning those fights, making sure he clutches up for the team. I'm happy with that we're continuing to see this out of Loxy. I want to see Regnum Karya start securing some more of those placement points. I want to see if they can get themselves with 4 players alive into a top 4 situation.
Maybe by stopping the fights with D+, and keeping all your team alive.
But they win in those.
They do win those, but it's like, maybe prioritize positions. They'd be like, most of the time they do win them without losing a player, but so far it's been looking really good for Regnum Karya. I do think maybe pushing Ulf instead of just going for the dip north would have been a better rotational path for them, just to be hypercritical. But I still feel like the idea in general was very, very smart from Regnum.
By the way, from Mad Bulls, even though he wasn't there on the top slingers, something that they end up working out great for their squad was Lemon. Lemon was very important in this last match. He was the last one scouting. He was the last one getting that information on Team Flash, and ultimately that scouting led them to a winning play and crushing and making sure that they made back off when it came down to Team Flash.
Well, we're getting into the second half of day 1, guys, right? Bottom 5 teams. Which team do you want to see make something happen right here in this game, Max?
Thunder Talk. You know what? After their insane performance during the league stage, where the hell is Thunder Talk? Where is Sitting Seven? He was popping off. He's doing nothing so far.
He was getting eliminated by Alter Ego in the
Oh,
first
he was busy doing that. True.
That's all I can tell you. Now, I'm going to be looking at D+ Kia. Come on, the defending champions, 5 points. I said it earlier, all those 5 points coming from eliminations. I want to see more out of them. And from Team Flash, please hold down our compound this next Erangel.
Hold it down. Here we go. The last Erangel of day number 1. Let's get this started and head on over to our casters, John Allen and Blake.
We've got another edition of the Grassy Pastures. Let's get stuck right on in and see where this match is going to take us. A little bit further north on this plain path blank from Lipovka over towards Zaki. Is it going to be another rematch between Regnum Karya and D+ Kia? And are D+ Kia gonna fumble it again?
We got to wait and see. We got to wait and see what D+ does here, because they got to get something done. Right now, it's looking pretty tough for D+ Kia, considering they are the defending champions. You'd hope to see them up at least in the top 8. But it's bad. It's bad right now. Sighting from Thunder Talk as well in kind of a rough spot, going down quite a few times for them early, which is not great considering he brings the vast amount of firepower. But in that sense, can't put all the blame on him. The Sighting goes down doesn't mean the team has to fall apart.
No, absolutely not. It's it is a mutual responsibility for everybody in the team, just for all the other geezers there, trying to have a crack at things. But they're dropping fairly close with APG right now. Obviously, APG a little bit on a far stretch to go towards military, and could cause some conflict. But it seems like they are going to split it off. So Thunder Talk's sticking to Milter, and APG are giving ground.
Yeah, you can squeeze between them. You can absolutely squeeze between them there. So they've got a nice rotational path here, going down on the south side and then swinging on the western bridge. It's going to be a bit of a quick loop for them, though, in my opinion. You could potentially pick up Primorsk if you wanted to, unless teams stretch out that way, but we'll wait and see what happens. Regnum Karya, obviously, we want to see them do better. The region we covered, but 7th place is not bad. 7th place is not bad. Also, we have our Polar Party Mini 14 skin. Log in to PUBG Mobile now. Get a free permanent firearm finish.
Time limit on that one.
There is a time limit. Yeah, absolutely. Get on that fast. All right. It's the early game right now. You can pull up PUBG Mobile. You can get your free emotes as well and all your extra goodies and prizes.
Yeah, those ones last a little bit longer until the 25th. Until, well...
Focus on the Mini 14 for now.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Well, to be fair...
You can get both done.
It does look pretty frosty. You can get both. You can absolutely get both. And you can get that redemption code as well. Make sure you enter that one in-game. PUBG in Bangkok. Make sure you're getting all the goodies on side. I was going to say it's until Christmas Day, but in Europe, in the majority of Europe, they celebrate Christmas on the 24th. Isn't that weird? Isn't that weird of them to do that? Ugh, weird.
Yeah, strange, odd. Don't like that. Then again, we probably are the minority in that case.
Yeah, no, well, no, I think the majority of... Anyway, let's not dive too deep into that. Europeans weird, including us. we're also weird, but for other reasons. Goatsy right now, playing in the prison. Oh, goodness me, if you didn't see the prison finish in Last Chance, then go and watch that one after today's shows, because it was very weird, I think it's safe to say.
Yeah, I mean, 7. I mean, Globan just threw themselves off the cliff there.
Yeah.
Very unfortunate. Very unfortunate.
A lemming play.
Didn't enjoy it very much. Flip here from Mad Bulls. Fantastic work in the last game. And him and Lemon, 2 players that go hand in hand together. Really, really good stuff. And always nice to see Mad Bulls succeeding. Honestly, Tulika been on multiple teams throughout the years as well. I think that he's developed his performance a lot out of many players. Some players just born into this game and are insane from the get-go and remain that way. You can't really talk too much about it. But I think for Tulika, he's had a bit of a tumultuous journey throughout PUBG Mobile, starting off as a bit more of a aggressive player, maybe too aggressive at times. And he's brought that back, and he's become a very good anchor player for the team who also has that capability of the firepower. And I think Mad Bulls are really succeeding off the back of that.
Yeah, I think potentially a little bit of a under-predicted team. I think it's safe to say coming into this one, a lot of teams were sort of dominating the headlines. Mad Bulls may have been, 4th, 5th, 7th, down to sort of 7th seeds. I think if you were going to organize the tables, you may have been putting them in there. But definitely at the moment, impressing. But given the fact that APG are in 1st place right now, almost entirely off the back of their single chicken dinner, with 7 points earned outside of their chicken dinner, it's still very much anyone's game at this point.
Circle over towards western side. Let's refocus on that a little bit at the moment. DRX do head out a little bit further towards the west early. Ulf is going to be playing around Ferry Pier, holding the yellows as well, waiting for that approach from Kara. Likely Ketch is going to back off as soon as he sees that happen, but hopefully doesn't get caught out. It does happen occasionally. DX Xavier with a decent starting position for themselves, and they are at their post ready to sprint across the circle. But always a curious one. We do have a little bit of Sosnovka cut in here. There is a small chance it heads down towards that bridge, but probably not for long. Much more likely we head over towards Everest or even the swamps around Quarry, which I really wouldn't mind, considering so many teams have got a long way to go to get over there. It would be a massive mad dash for a lot of our squads. Really have to get the old sneakers on and moving.
Absolutely. Going to have to keep moving. I have the question of, are we getting Gauntlet or League Stage APG again? We've seen, as I said before, both of those 2 teams today playing under the same banner. Reckon Kaya are going to try and jet their way out towards the middle of this circle, get over towards the west side, get closer in. We'll see whether they're able to pull up. Right now, not too much contest ahead of them. Mad Bull's going to be potentially crashing into their western side, so could be trouble ahead, but I'm sure they'll find a way to navigate it. Alpha 7 splitting out, getting another vehicle on side. Playing from the west side, seems like they're going to have a good time setting up. We'll see where they choose to go.
I mean, regardless of Vampire not getting that win last game, they have dragged themselves to the table quite a bit, right? 4th place right now, 23 points. It looks quite good. DX Xavier riding off the back of their 2 matches, let's be quite frank about that. But we are still just getting into match 4. So there's still time for these things to even out. But I think for DX Xavier, out of all of these squads, this is the team that has had a few more freebies. Yes, they've played a good game towards their first match of the day. They're over there on Rondo in the open area. I think that was actually a very nice match, but they had the zone for a long, long time. I want to see more out of DX Xavier outside of just those 2 games.
Yeah, I think that's the story for both of our top 2, as we highlighted earlier with APG. We do want to see more.
Well, I don't know.
I mean, for APG, to be fair, they displayed a huge amount of class in their way.
They played a crazy angle.
They did play it incredibly well.
What I mean
is, I want to say.
Didn't you? You heard me like
yeah, I was like, I heard what I said, and then I thought, I know what he's going to say, and so I jumped back in because it is fair. Absolutely, their Eringer win was absolute class. Ooh, that is a sit down there, and Thunder seemingly not able to talk, a little bit muted on this tournament so far. That's going to be another flush sent their way. Nasty stuff, but brilliant pickup. Let's be able to find that point.
Yeah.
Alter Ego, happy.
That's a ridiculous shot, though. No?
Wait, Alter Ego got that point. That wasn't go. Oh, okay.
I wonder if it was all Alter Ego shot, because like I said, that is a ridiculous shot. It was on target. But regardless, through the trees, you're like spotting a tiny amount of area.
Blank the circle.
Yeah, well, I might have jinxed it there a little bit. Just a little bit, but yeah, heading down towards the south side, towards the bridge. Super uncomfortable. Teams probably don't want to head over towards Sosnov because we're really limiting the play space so early in this game. I think this might be one of those matches that ends around about Zone 8 instead of Zone 9. So we might get a bit of a quick match here over on Arundel, our final one of the day.
Quarry opening, big feature into this circle on the west side, Blank. Everything around Ferry Pier, that ridge line of hill that stretches on that roadside as well, can contain multiple teams, a multitude if you let them. A lot of teams are crunching in on this northern shore. It is really nasty. Maxman is making emote faces at me right now, and maybe it's going to be a chance for him to continue as Regnum Kaya lighting up the battleground against Ulf, who actually drop here. Regnum Kaya going to wade straight on into the fight, and Loxy not going to go for the reses, instead maintaining ground in the face of Ulf.
Yeah, taking a hell of a lot of damage here to Regnum Kaya. Smoke does work. You know, he gets the bounce. We'll try and run away from this one, but Regnum Kaya, I think they do succeed on this. They get the majority of the ground taken over inside the building, and likely the Ulf is not going to play off the back of this. The crunch is insane, by the way. The amount of teams all in this area around Ferry Pier and towards the lighthouse on the eastern side, that is a wild amount of teams. They all make their way in. Regnum Kaya looking to pick themselves back up, though. They have one of the most central positions. They're one of the best teams at playing central as well. And they do get all 4 players back up against. This is a very promising start for the Turkish squad.
There are teams around the mouth of Quarry, which I did expect, but there's really not that many teams still north of the road. Everybody's up to get into, as you said, this crunch, right? Between, rather south of the road, and Ulf may be the team that feels the brunt of it the most. Finally, teams are starting to join the Mad Bulls on the ridgeline to the north of this. But right now, I feel like the Mad Bulls might have a pretty commanding spot here. Potentially difficult to transition away from. And there's still a lot of dangerous circles that sit in this future because a lot of it is still water, maybe up to 40% here.
Yeah, it's a super grim circle. We'll put it that way. Super grim circle. I think for most teams, they don't really enjoy it. But the reason you're seeing so many teams like group up around this area is you want that chance to cross the bridge if you absolutely have to, which is still a potential in this match. It really is still a potential. We could head over towards the north side, but players equally not fond of that as we'd be heading over towards the fields on that northern edge. E-Arena would control a fairly decent position, but it's Alpha 7 with that lovely compound that sits over towards the eastern side of Quarry. Not the one that's down in the ditch, but you can see right here on our screens as we get our next circle, it is over towards Ferry Pier, which was sort of a given, considering the circle, unless we got some absolutely crazy scenes down towards the southeast side. Glad we're not seeing that for a lot of our teams on our screen at the moment.
Yeah, a bit of a compound standoff right now as Team Flash 7 desperately wants to see them hold a compound, hold it down, but I have to do it against Alter Ego right now. APG holding their south side as well. Krypton on the outside here, looking to vault around, get the off angle. Tops is off in the distance, actually on the hillside, so could prove to be an important third party attack, third angle. Vampire having rounds sent their way, one after the other. Ida connects, but he's backed off the angle. This should be resable for Vampire. I think they're going to be able to maintain, but both of these two teams going to have to move as everybody is still crunching south.
Yeah,
Wait, Thunder Talk.
Ida's going straight back in. Thunder Talk, yeah, they made this ramp, right? It was a weird ramp that they made down towards the southeast side. E-Arena looking over towards Alpha Gaming, who were sent away from this position, playing a little bit split there. But if they can regroup, I'm not too angry about it. I'm honestly not too angry about it. They got themselves a little bit of early warning signs from teams starting to make their way in. They are very central as well, John. Very, very central indeed.
E-Arena went very quickly through the middle of all of that from the northern side, and APG back off. They don't want to keep that fight going. So another team joins Ferry Pier. With DRX on that west side. He's really front to back on that little settlement there. And actually the fact that only Ulf has lost a player in Ferry Pier right now is pretty nuts. It is pretty nuts that only one team has lost a player in that spot. DRX also playing as 4. So we have 4 4-player teams, 1 3-player team playing in the same settlement right now.
Yeah, the old Regnum foresight there once again. Clairvoyant Silas, kind of understanding where this circle probably will go. Looks to claim a position nice and early, and absolutely does, and that's where that Ulf elimination came from. Sighting up over towards the island. Sits between Sosnovka and Ferry Pier. Playable, definitely playable. For how long is the true question of it all. Will give himself a loot crate, which is hilarious that that drops there. For Thunder Talk, they'll take it. They'll take it. They'll pull the tops on this one.
Okay, all right, yeah. Well, they are already down a player, so they do need all the help they can get. D plus Kia, they are moving in from the north side and potentially looking to challenge Mad Balls, but they don't need to go that far just yet. DRX should be aware of Thunder Talk maneuvering around on this south side. It's actually not too many teams that are going to be within render distance of Sighting's position. There are... Okay, no, it should be most of the teams in Ferry Pier. Maybe just about. Maybe not APG, but it's going to be a limited amount of impact.
Okay.
Hard east shift. Regnum Kaya slap bang in the middle on the east side of Ferry Pier.
Yeah, this is big news for Regnum Kaya. They're going to love this one. This is going to give them a massive opportunity for a big win off the back of this game, but they've got to hold out. They've got to hold on. They have a fairly good compound to do it from as well. Great shots from Weezow. Again, you are going to see this regularly over here at the PMGC Grand Finals. Players are getting so good these days. Players are getting insanely good when it comes to those long-range shots, especially just with the assault rifles as well. Very surprising to see, but they're happening more and more often now.
Ooh, Team Flash on the north side are winning their fight with Alter Ego, busting them down to 2. Haven't lost a player yet, but that could all change. And D plus Kia in the meantime, by the way, off in the distance. Nice little pickups coming on through. 4 Team Flash go moving out in dribs and drabs across the open grounds here. Vampire making their crash in the meantime. Again, looking to join in on Ferry Pier as another team getting into the mix. Oh, the needle threaded there. That should be resable as soon as the smokes bloom, but Miaula needs to be careful, needs to be a little bit tentative.
Come on, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Come on. That's a little bit of communication is all we're asking for. Not much more than that.
Okay. Looking towards the circle, though. Blank Thunder Talk have made landfall on that south side.
Yeah. Thunder Talk has probably the weirdest playstyle I've ever seen out of a single team. Their ability to go from tactical, aware, methodical, to chaotic, and just pushing teams like crazy. It doesn't make sense to me, but I love that they can just flip that switch on a dime during the game. It's really great to see. Not a lot of teams are able to shift gears like that quite as easily as Thunder Talk are. Gives them a real advantage when it comes to those moments where they absolutely have to change that play style in the moment.
Absolutely. D plus Kia, I mean, they've been able to patch themselves up, but will fully lose 1 now in their engagement, their standoff with Team Flash. Alter Ego obviously losing half of their players, but getting down all the way to the south to one of the piers, one of the outcrops there. Alpha 7 on the northwestern side right now. Looking to try and push on through. Looks like, yeah, Irina and Vampire are going back and forth, but it's not going to be a happy situation for Vampire. They may still be able to get that res. Back on, though, with Alpha 7. They have R8 to their south and 3 players from D plus to their northeast. We'll see who's going to go for that crash, or if they're going to try and divert R8 and disengaging. They're going into the west side of Ferry Pier. In the meantime, everything's popping off on that northern side, or it certainly should be, as the south end actually finds Alter Ego coming a cropper.
Alter Ego down, yeah, very surprising. But again, we're getting to that stage of the game now, into stage 5, where this circle can't really hold that many teams anymore. And it's going to get worse and worse and worse. For the time being, there is still compounds available, but as we crunch in, teams are going to start falling like dominoes into the future. Chips here, CQC for D+, but It's looking bad. It's looking very bad for D+ and their prospects.
Looking to get toasted here. Alpha 7 rolling in as well, just over the ridgeline. Revo looking to heal. Mad Bulls. I mean, we've seen what they can do in close quarters. And Pusher, Tulika handling their business, moving up, playing now 2 versus 1 on the angle. Alpha 7 not with a backup on the angle just yet. Carrillo maybe looking for it. And a good nade from Revo does bring things back into control a little bit more. These are the only 2 players for the Mad Bulls on the angle. And Carrillo has found another. Last player to stand for Alpha 7, but the Flash are here. They flexed out from the northeast side. They've dealt with a majority of the damage towards Alter Ego, a lot towards the rest of them, and they want to sweep through the rest of this fight. There are not too many remnants left to sweep under the rug.
I mean, Flash gets a little bit out of this one, but they've already got 6 elims.
Oh no.
So they're kind of quite crazy with this one. Alpha 7 Carrillo steps out, but as he walks back in, takes a bit of a tag. Wounded now is Alpha 7. Carrillo, that nade should do the trick when it pops, but not even required, as Bose will finish the job with the DBS in hand. For the Flash, at this stage of the game, you know, it's still not too late. But playing in front of a crowd like this, it is nerve-wracking. Especially for a fresh team like this coming through to PMGC. It is so, so different. They had nerves cold as steel over in the gauntlet, over in the group stages. But here, it's a very different story.
But they do still now have a 4v4. They've managed to win some of the fights, and Bose lands first knock on the off angle as well, stepping up on the side of that tank there. And Ida's not really super resable right now. We'll crawl down and let Amori pick him back up. But in the meantime, Flash need to take initiative. They need to push forwards and use the time that's been allowed to them to look for the pressure on the back line. As soon as that res comes through, R8 start to re-establish. That will start to happen now, and Team Flash not really getting too much done. Zeus, though, moving into this angle, I think that might be the saving grace for them. Look at what he's been able to find. Prestige may be unaware.
His nades are coming through fast from the Flash. And the only way I can see this happening is because they've got so many to work with. Zeus finally finds a little bit of value off the back of that. He does spot Amori straight away. It's a great nade over towards Ida. Very low now. But Zeus has got a lot to deal with in front of him. Team not quite seeing these angles just yet, but Ida's low, Marth's low. Ida just gets the first aid kit off, so he's back into the fight.
DXavier with a third-party knockover towards Team Flash. Slow their roll a lot here. But the holdout going to try his best, but it's not going to happen. Amori now rampaging over and on through. Marth with the side angles, and Levi's really ruined their day. Team Flash, I mean, they had a really good go at it, but with 2 players now, facing down R8 is a fearful prospect.
DRX, in the meantime, getting some great nades and great damage over towards APG. It's the only players they've got left remaining on side soon. The fact that DRX is able to make that push is a little bit surprising. I think that APG was quite split for a little while. So APG down to 2. Yeah, really unideal.
Team Flash still with 2 players. Hearing those nades go forwards. First knock over to Marth. Flushed. Taken on for the rematch though. Will go for 1 and 1 again. They lose Marth, but blank. They do stay alive as 3. They win. They get rid of Team Flash on that north side. A decent showing, though, from Team Flash. I don't think that you can say that that was a bad game from them. They held that compound on the northeast side. They got 8 points out of this match. It's much better.
Yeah, I think it's nerves. I genuinely think it's nerves right now for the Flash. That's where they're struggling. But getting 8 limbs there, that's probably bearing a lot of confidence for them, in my opinion. So they'll probably play better going in towards our next couple matches, but we're on a whole different map. So maybe back to square one. We'll wait and see, though. Hopefully that's not the case. Thunder Talk staying alive towards the pier, I think is probably one of the more surprising things of the game. Interesting rotates from this squad are not to be underestimated.
I hope they get late into this game, so we get the rotation graphic that highlights what they did this match.
Yeah, it was cool.
That
would very cool.
That'd be very interesting. Might not, though, if they're going to get picked off like that. DRX taking shots out towards AJ. Yeah, not going to be getting away with that. So it is just Sighting and King. I think Sighting's under pressure from Regnum Kaya, so that is a difficult move north. I don't think they're getting through this one. Bit of a blockade in the way. Kara coming up against their own blockade. It's DXavier in some buildings. They are very used to this today. They've been practiced. Old hands, but Kara seemingly finding that opener. Marceau backing off the wall very, very quickly, though.
Wow.
I bet he wish he hadn't. I bet he wish he'd stayed tucked on in.
That's
He
a
was running
Paragin
away.
nade for you right there.
Running on out. Oh, and there's R8 chiming in as well. Lewis goes down to that off angle. DXavier not really too phased at all by Kara's runner.
Not at all. Lovely nade off the back of the stair window as well. Bounced out towards Marceau, immediately took him down.
Oh.
CEO will nade Marceau out. So, no points for you, Paragin.
That's one way to do it. That is one way to do it. All right, are still taking these shots on these off angles. CEO got a couple more nades. I think this will be the last one. Looking for the cook, and it's not on target. Mori spots him. CEO goes down. A nice lineup. Brilliant on target spray there.
Yeah, that's a very impressive spray coming through from Amori. Basically, no kick on it as well. Well done.
Poser.
Well done.
Now just Poser moving forwards, and he's down. It's Regnum Kaya to pick up the point. They've been on this east point of Perry Pier for a while after some...
Perry Pier.
Yeah, they picked a pack of pickled peppers too.
Perry
but they do manage. Okay.
Wow.
Well, ignore that because Ziol's just landed a double. Oh, he's the last player to go, but he's still going to put up a hell of a fight. Does he have more in the tank, though? QXZ now in on the ground floor. Ziol meeting downstairs, looking for the shots, hopping around the door frame. Doesn't quite connect. And QXZ looking to try and wait for his team, but does he have the time? E-Arena are going to bear down upon this in the meantime. The reses can come through, but Ziol wants to try and make the most of it. Now you're too late with that nade. Ziol does fall. An APG may be denied even the points on this one. It's another gauntlet APG game.
Good stuff there from DRX. And again, DRX is a strong squad. Initial fight over towards APG was great. It was a little bit split for my liking, personally, over towards APG. I think they needed to give some ground a little bit quicker there, because DRX basically just flew in from the western side, picked up first knock, and that was it. Thunder Talk get King and Sighting into the mix here. Regnum Kaya still going strong on this east side, but it's their cross, right? It's their entry point to the circle that is a little bit hard to work with.
Oh, get caught on the cross, losing one. DRX now up to 5 elims on the southwest side. Regnum Kaya moving in from that east point, going to have to condense a little bit more. I mean, it is all about R8 transitioning. It's all about DXavier transitioning down south. Who's going to be in the lead when it comes down to it, right? Because there's a lot of this circle that is just outside Ferry Pier.
For Regnum Kaya, they make a good play here, though. They get up to the next edge, but if I'm Regnum Kaya, I have no idea Thunder Talk's here, by the way. I have no idea.
I don't think they do. I think you're completely right about that. R8 do go down and they try to make it up to the roadside. And they just aren't going to find it. Yeah, they have absolutely no idea. They have absolutely no idea. For Regnum Kaya, there is no way that they could know.
So
this is
sad.
totally reasonable to not be aware of this spot. As soon as
the jump.
Okay, as soon as the pin. Wait, Zedwolf spots it. Okay, they know. He goes down, but they have got the info now. They know that there's threats in the sidelines, and this should be a bowl. Just pour those bullets on down, but the nade is there, the answer. King goes, Sighting now, steps up, goes for Loxy. Silas and Wild now need to hold their nerve. No third parties yet. DXavier have moved in the meantime, but I don't think they're looking at a third party. Not for the time being. They had a knock on side. Sighting goes low to another nade. Regnum Kaya now with 2 players. Will they go down to the wildest off angle we've ever seen here?
Push this.
Sighting looks for the push. The res is starting to come on through. He steps in. The smoke has bloomed. Silas with the challenge, and he holds his nerve. Regnum Kaya need to put themselves back together because they are cracking.
That's a gorgeous smoke from Silas. But more than that, Zedwolf. I love that guy. I love that guy.
Oh, what a guy.
Who checks that? Who checks that other than Zedwolf? Oh my God. Like I said, they had no idea. They had no reason to have any idea. But the fact that he checks that really shows that he is playing at a PMGC level. Anywhere there could be a player, I'm checking it regardless of whether it seems so silly or it seems so insane, which it absolutely is to check that angle. But he does it anyway. So very, very well done. Yes, he gets knocked off the back of it, but the information he provides is life-saving.
Brilliant, brilliant stuff. for Regnum Kai to be able to check that. Now up to 3 elims, adding those 2 to their tally. DXavier not quite able to push all the way across is brilliant for them. They can flex out to that east side, start to establish lines up towards the north. They're going to need in this next zone. We're into stage 8. You thought it might close down a little bit earlier, Blank. I think you might be wrong, given the Ferry Pier situation right now. Ulf very much on the ropes. The nades still finding their way into the ground floor of the Wizard Tower, but not quite getting the full job done. They're going to have to do the rest, maybe a little bit more up close and personal. Clash over to Scarface. It's found, it's traded. DXavier, DRX rather, lose 1, lose 2 maybe.
Yeah, for DRX getting up off this coast, hard. Very, very difficult. Eventually, it was going to have to stop. Great 1-2 punch there coming through from Ketch. Instantly on target.
What a lovely little step up there from Ketch. Last player to survive. Tower defense right now. And to be honest, if one of these 2 teams on the east side doesn't go down, Ketch has a fairly decent crack of getting in towards second place here.
Yeah, it's a real question of how many balloons he can pop before he does go down.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, very difficult to play the center of this circle, John. Regnum Kaya, though, I think their biggest task at the moment is DXavier. How much utility they have remaining, because they had to waste a lot over towards Thunder Talk, which is quite frustrating for them. 2 players in a vehicle that is smoking. This is a dangerous maneuver, but getting over towards the Wizard Tower, okay.
The arena might try and challenge it. DXavier, remember, they still have angles. That smoke to Zedwolf's right-hand side right now is so important. It's on the clock, though. Evades the damage from the nade coming on in. And actually, DXavier take a knock from Turney K. Arena helping out this approach coming through from Regnum Kaya. DXavier now with a little bit of trouble. Wild spraying pretty wildly, but does connect a shot or 2. Ketch is still there on the ground floor as a nade finds its way on through. Everybody now looking to try keep the territory they've earned, because this zone is going dead center. Ketch now on the ground floor, looking to just try and last this one out. Silas not connected with an 8. Zedwolf is, though, with a spray over towards DXavier, and they hop out. But immediately Ketch!
No.
Oh, Ketch, no! You can't do it to him, not like that! Zedwolf falls too, and a nightmare lineup. Ketch with the catch out.
The 2 turkeys take themselves out of action. Oh, it's a nightmare. It really is a nightmare. Natey takes some nasty nade to the back of the head, but E-Arena looks to keep pushing right now, but it's looking too little too late as DXavier, they step it up once again. The heat is in the arena for the Spiders.
Hey, they didn't get the circle fully blessing them this time, but they are able to pull through. A second chicken dinner for DXavier today. A great result for them. Real tough times for Regnum Kaya, though, during that match. Thunder Talk and Ketch, both proving to be a little bit too much. The full force they can handle. It's those sneaky little solos, those duos, a little bit too hard of a hurdle.
Yeah, this Vietnamese team has been in a lot of very, very big tournaments, and they are great at controlling area. They always have been, always will be, but it feels like they're really thriving under the pressure here at PMGC. I think it's always great starting on that chicken dinner because it gives you a huge amount of momentum to just keep going. And look at how happy these guys are just about that win. Fantastic.
Brilliant, as they should be. A nicely controlled game there coming through from DXavier. For Regnum Kaya, I mean, they still got decently into that match. I think it was fairly low on the elims though, Blank. I don't think they were able to get too many. Not great from them. But DXavier, very happy to finally prove that they can go all the way when they don't get the blessing.
And here we go, the second chicken dinner for DXavier. Man, these guys have just been so dang consistent, Max.
Well, the Dingoes, they're looking great here. Second chicken dinner. They get one on Rondo. They do it here on Arango on the last one. Very happy about it. But you know what, Seven? I feel like looking at these games, we look at the late game, we're like, how the hell is DXavier like one of the strongest positions? They do it every time.
I mean, the rotation from this squad has been so wonderful. Something that has been impressive for DX is the way that they are able to defend compounds whenever they actually get there. And this is something that you and I were kind of pulling our hairs at some point, Max, because what happened between DX and Kara?
Not good things, unfortunately. I have to be brutally honest. I love the play initially from Kara, which is you smoke out all of the windows of DXavier, which makes it easier for you to push up, but they send it and then they don't go into building 7? Why?
One thing that we got to call out for Kara, though, that we actually did notice is they waited a little bit longer because they knew that DX was going to be sending out those nades.
True.
First nades come through, and then they just don't fully send it. Kara, you got to make sure you end up sending it inside the building. You can't put yourself there in defense for the position to just get naded out.
Yeah, exactly. I think Xavier were like, you're going there? Like, that's weird position. Okay, 2 nades, bonk, squad wipe, easy. So, like, Kara, no matter what your game plan is, fully commit to it. I feel like you crash into buildings. You know what? Maybe this is a Kara win, but they fumble it.
Yeah, and if they would have made that push, right, it would have been a 4 versus 3 situation, right? But that little lack of commitment really cost them there, right? But you know what? It's so crazy to just watch some of these individual plays as well, right?
Yes.
We gotta talk about Catch 7.
I mean, I'm pretty sure we're going to end up seeing it on the highlights here. This man was able, I got to go back and see how many actual eliminations he was able to secure for his squad. Because not only was he able to eliminate some players there from DRX when DRX was having to go through everything, which we'll get a chance to talk about it in a minute, but on top of that, guess what? He ends up eliminating, I think it was maybe 2 more players from Regnum Karya whenever they were just jumping out of the building. He's like, oh, Silas, hi there. Thank you for the elimination point.
The 5-man Turkish team's like, it's kind of sus, this situation in this Harry Potter tower, and he does get himself the final word at the end. He does get out just slightly before Regnum Karya, so he doesn't get that extra placement point. But you know what? Playing silent in Harry Potter tower always works out great in advantage of these teams. Though, E-Arena, oh, there it is.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
That was... Don't go on the walls on these little compounds. Again, they're so nadeable. Just get in the building. At least you're safe from those nades.
And another performance that we got to point out is QXCZC. This man has also been a breakthrough performance, at least in my eyes, for the whole of the RX. Usually we're just talking about, okay, Cupid. All right, QB is going to clutch up. Yeah, guess what? Now it's another player that's able to get them points as well, and there you go. That's what I was able to talk about earlier in regards to Cage, just securing more eliminations for his squad, securing even more points. Whoa. And for DX Xavier, I mean, well played, great timing for them. And right here, perfectly, we'll get a chance to see in Max how quickly they were actually able to rotate there and make sure that they found a good spot. Yeah,
look at phase 2. I want you all to pay attention. Pachinki, DX Xavier, drop in there since like 1996, it feels like. Circle 2 pops very soon. Look at the speed of their rotation. Right in there. And they stick it until pretty much Circle 9, right? They're just holding down that position. Circle short is given to them, but you know that defense against Kara is super well done. So DX Xavier, those early rotates are so impactful for the entirety of their game.
And another one we got to talk about, Regnum Karya. I mean, at one point, it seemed like they were going to get 2 other players eliminated because it was, what, 2 players? Was it Hot Jukes from Thunder Talk just surprising them?
Yeah. It was crazy. It was crazy. And what was also wild was seeing so many teams go out early in the top. But let's take a look at the match rankings. DX Xavier, another 17 points.
They love placement points. They love the placement points, DX Xavier. But you know what? I'm going to talk about another team that loves placement points. That's the Arena. No, I'm actually really happy with the way they entered into the circle. They were a team that was involved in Ferry Pier, but on the northern side, meaning you can third party, but because you're not in the deep center of the city itself, you're not fully directly involved, and you can just take a few shots here and there, so they can leave the city, but then you go into the DX Xavier meat grinder, and that meat grinder was quite deadly, 7 at the end of that match.
It really was. I was hoping that we would get a better performance out of some of the other squads that we were talking about earlier in regards to the bottom 5. D+, I mean, ends up with just 1 point. They end up in Longwood and just getting attacked from everybody. And we gotta give props to the mayhem that was happening in Longwood between a lot of the teams. And before I even go into that, Perigin, congratulations on the MVP. Woo! But going back to Longwood, there was just so many teams going for that fight. We saw Alpha 7 being able to third party a fight there between D+ and some of the other squads. And then an aggressive team that I was happy to see, R8. R8 decides to push the action, and then they get put back on their heels because it was none other than Team Flash going after them. But we'll continue on because guess what? We have a new first place team, and it's none other than DX.
Holy DX Xavier, let's go from Vietnam. Not only that, sure, they got 2 chicken dinners. 29 placement points over the course of 4 matches is ludicrous. These guys are on fire.
Unbelievable. More placement points than 6th place combined total points, right?
Okay.
That is unbelievable consistency. That is it for Erangel, though, right? We're going to go into Miramar next, okay, guys? We talked about it at the start of the show, all right? A possible big hot drop situation, all right? Break it down. What do you guys feel about it?
You got to tell me which teams. Oh, you're talking about Regnum versus Vampire. There you go, Hot Jukes. Before we go into that one, top 4 players, no surprise, both from Team Flash, as I was mentioning earlier. And then Amori once again.
New star from Mina?
Yeah.
Yes.
You had Ida, Marth, and now Amori added to the list. And Cage actually ended up with 4 Ilums.
You know what? I want to say, as in retrospective, looking at the entirety of 2024, it's been the 2025, not 2025. Yeah, behind. It's been really the rise of so many good, strong individual players, right? This feels like the true new gen of PUBG Mobile Esport, which gets me very, very excited for things going on. But yeah, and also QXZ, right? Talking about Hyunbin, you already said,
yes.
Right, 7. Here, QXZ. Actually, I love that fight versus Yol.
Yes.
He fights Yol in that 1v1, but he doesn't commit so hard to the point where even if Yol gets that elimination, he's going to go confirm the rest of the team. He buys just enough time to get the full reset. I love when players are just knowing, I want to fight him, I need to play slow, so I give my team a better chance to survive and make it later on in the game.
The tactical play, not even if he was just waiting for his team to get the full reset, just the tactical awareness for him to know that Seoul more than likely was going to be waiting on the stairs and he was going to be put at a what? A TTP, TPP disadvantage, and you don't want to end up going for that one. But going back to your point, Hajux, as we will be moving on towards Miramar, Regnum versus Vampire, especially with what we saw out of that game, Regnum now finally waking up, right? Securing a good performance here in this last match. Finally, is that really something you want to move to after a good performance, Max? Do you really want to move into a hot drop in Picado?
Well, if it was a hot drop on D plus Key, I'd be like, hell yeah. But they don't have a great time fighting other teams that are not D plus Kia, so you know what? Maybe give it up. You know, we do know there's a little bit of drama, a little bit of friction between these two teams, you know, talking behind the scenes. But Picado itself, it's a good city, it's a good area. I want to see one of these two teams, and you know what? I don't care which one it is. Going to the trash loot to the west. It's such a good position, good car spawns, similar rotation path to what Picado provides. If they just go for it, clear to say 7, I think we agree, it's an ego thing.
Yeah. I mean, you know what? Let's be fair here. I give it one game. I give it one game, and then after that, I don't want to see any hot drops. I think that's fair.
That's fair.
Absolutely. I mean, this is the biggest tournament of the entire year, right?
Yep.
You can literally ruin your entire chances. The prize pool jumps so significantly each place as we go down. Risking it a hot drop is wild. So, yeah, maybe we see one happen and they get it away, or, I mean, Regnum Car has been pretty consistent.
For the memes.
Yeah.
The thing is, you have Vampire right now 25 points away from first place. You have Regnum as well, currently 18 points behind. Do you really just want to throw a match? And throw a match in an aspect of, even if you win the fight, right, you end up getting, what, possibly 4 eliminations?
Yeah.
But then you're going to be hindering yourself for the later of the round, for the rest of the match.
It's not even that, because of course you're going to say, oh, you're hurting yourself in those fights, because if you lose a single player, your chances of a win go down drastically. But also, when Xavier being so consistent, you give them an opportunity to keep on increasing their lead every single game. And they have been, in the past, historically, very good on Miramar. We'll see if Blank agrees this time. But I'm telling you, Miramar is one of their main battlegrounds to get points on.
And I got a chance to talk to Sertani before that match, too. He was saying he's liking the uptrend that the team is currently on. Sertani, I'm pretty sure you're watching this one. If you're not, just in case, continue on the uptrend. Let's see if that hot drop is going to happen or not.
Yeah, you know what? Speaking of uptrend, I want to talk about a little bit more about that last game, right? Flash, right? They got 8 eliminations in this game. So they put up sub points, but what do you think about their performance so far, 7?
Their performance, I enjoy when they were being the aggressors towards R8, and then it flipped around back to what I was saying in the previous match, which when this team has to defend, they're just not able to react quite well on it. R8 was able to fully overpower it. That's why I was giving props to R8. R8, once again, continues with the eliminations, finishes that match with 8 elims. But for Team Flash, if you're going to be the aggressors, you're going to have to commit. It came down to R8 just clutching up.
Yeah, I think Flash played it very well up to the point where they were clashing directly with R8. And I think it's not an issue of the fight was taken poorly. They were very indecisive because they were thinking, Circle's not going to go longward. Do we maybe go onto Xavier's position? Do we fully command clear R8 and then move? They're thinking too much about it. Sometimes commit to a play, even if it's not the best and most optimal play, commit to as a full squad, you might have a higher chance of just coming out on top and maybe making it to the later stage.
That's one of those chances when the first time at Grand Finals, right? You're having those little jitters. Okay, now maybe you end up doubting yourself here and there. Maybe they'll be able to lock it in here in the final 2 matches of day 1.
I mean, it makes sense, though. I mean, especially after that Aaron Gale we saw before this one. You know, they had that hospital. They were splitting it with police station. And it's one of those situations where you kind of get a little greedy, right? Because you have so much real estate. You want to cover every angle. But I think you're right, 7, right? You just got to commit to one play, right? Commit to one spot and make it happen. As we go into Miramar, we have that hot drop happening, right? What else are your expectations going into Miramar, Max?
I mean, when I think Miramar, internationally, the team that comes to mind for me is Alpha 7, but that was old Alpha 7.
Yep.
With Guizao, Obscure. How is that going to be working out possibly with a new roster? I'm very intrigued to see how they're going to perform on this
I
one.
mean, if you're going to talk about Alpha 7, earlier we were talking about DX, how much they love those placement points, how they've been able to get those 2 chicken dinners today. Alpha 7, right now, in regards to points, they're only sitting with 5 placement points. I want to see Alpha 7 being able to get themselves in a top 5 situation.
And you know what? D plus Kia, even if we don't get an island finish to the east, please, we need to see points on board. Seeing a team at the bottom like D plus Kia, they're currently, again, the reigning champions, completely unexpected. D plus Kia, we know what you guys can bring to the table. The team is so strong, but right now they just haven't had that opportunity to show it.
D plus Kia, if you end up fighting Regnum Karya, make sure you win that fight. If not, you're going to end up still be in 16th place after this match.
Hot drop Picardo with Vampire and Regnum.
Don't do that.
Do
Do
it.
not
No,
do
no,
that.
Just stop that.
Actually, no, don't do it.
D plus Kia, is it time for you to wake up? We
Yes.
are going into Miramar. Will they make it happen? John, Blank, what do you think?
Well, I think, you know, it's always time for a chicken dinner. You know, no matter what. No matter what, it is time to get stuck in to Miramar. And as the desk alluded to there, or, well, kind of spelled out, Picardo could be troublesome here. We hate Picardo hot drops. Maybe we'll see another one in the year 2025. I don't want it, but it might be on the cards. We'll have to wait and see. Is the team going to back off from the angle?
I mean, especially here on in PMGC, right? Grand finals. Do you really want to be hot dropping? It's a little silly, but it is still a potential. The D+, like the boys were saying, we can't keep saying this over and over, but it's not even just D+. It feels like it's every reigning champion and defending champion is just horrendous the next year.
I think the only exception, Silas.
Yeah, I guess so.
I think he's had his rough spots, as is every player, but I do think that the only exception is Silas. You could maybe think back towards.
I think you could say Alpha 7,
I think you
but
could
they're
think
not the rating champion.
I think you could think back towards maybe King, going back-to-back years on Nova. I think that's the only other time, but even then.
It was a very different game back then.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Definitely agree. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Alpha 7, I mean, they got their PMWC win.
Yeah.
And then
It was never made after
and
that.
then nothing else happened after that.
Yeah. But before that, they were very much second place team, which was cool. So, although they weren't defending, they were at least getting close each time.
Defending that second place. Mightily.
Very much so. We don't want to
Tough
win.
time. Oh, there we go. We're on board. Hey, we're in Picardo, blank. And Regnum, they're running scared from the vampires.
Where did Random Kaya go? So they did drop to the west. Because not only is Vampires in Picardo, so is Ulf on the northern side. Yeah, I think this is fair for Regnum Kaya. Very efficient drop to go for. Still works out just fine. I think this is a drop spot that Max was even speculating about in terms of getting over towards the western buildings, getting the good vehicle spawns as well. So I think things work out just okay for Regnum Kaya. And for Vampire, they get to play Picardo. It's not as explosive as we would have liked it to be, John.
Well,
but at least we aren't having to deal with watching two teams sit around in apartments.
Until minute 16. And then die to the blue zone.
Yeah, because the problem with that is that observers get like brain rot, I think, when we have Picardo hot drops. And
Oh, yeah.
the brain rot really bleeds in.
Poser! He's invisible. He is the bush. Poser has become bush. Look at him.
I've got to fully finish my point there because
Yeah,
I don't
sorry.
want to just say the observers have got brain rot because they don't.
Well, they did just then.
It's just it's Picardo hot drops
Hey,
where we
6-7, am I right, observers?
Yeah, that's right, that's right.
Hey.
Where the observers will
Skibbity
just
toilet.
keep coming back to the Picardo apartments. It's like, please, we don't want to see Picardo apartments anymore. There's been so many great fights that you've been catching, but you just keep coming back to this, and we want to just leave it alone.
No, it is true. It is absolutely true. It's It's such a horrible result for everybody if you stick to your guns on that Picardo hot drop. You can see it like once at the start of a tournament, and then someone has to move. Someone has to move, and the issue is ego gets in the way a lot of the time on that one. So it's good to see that teams have figured it out, and at the moment, the Vampires, the alpha of the pack, Kaya, tail between their legs, off to the west side.
I don't think Vampire's done terribly, honestly. I'm fairly impressed with Vampire, all things considered. I think this is a good result. We have seen worse results from teams coming into PMGC as an invite in the past. But again, it sort of depends on where we end up after match 6 for Vampire. And even more so after match 6 for tomorrow. Because there's a big chance that Vampire drop down towards 16th place tomorrow because we haven't fully proven them just yet.
Yes. It is something you do need to... I mean, you to an extent you need to prove yourself. I mean, getting here alone is already proof enough, I think. In terms of making sure that you're known, your name is firmly in the history books. But if you want to go that full distance, especially here at such an historic event here at PUBG United, 2025 being a brilliant collaboration coming on through. See if our teams can find that internal collaboration within their teammates. As Alter Ego looking to play towards the center of the circle. A lot of the south side of this circle blank is occupied right now, and very little of the north at the moment. We're coming up to 6th or 7th minute on that north side. Hey, that one just happened.
You gotta stop this.
I straight up didn't even expect that one.
You really have to cease.
Okay.
It's becoming an issue.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. You're going to have to avoid those 2 numbers for the remainder of the tournament.
Which numbers?
Thank you. Very well done. Great answer. But you are right. A lot of teams down towards the south side purely because the playing path was so southern and on the horizontal cross. And we've had a lot of those. They're not fun to play. And I think if you've listened to any of my commentary over PMGC, you'll know that I dislike that playing path. The amount of times we've seen it is criminal for a lot of our teams. D+ heading over towards El Azahar, so starting usually over towards Impala. They're going to get themselves clean and clear over towards the eastern edge, which is great news for them. Vampire also swung past Picardo towards Hacienda. That did mean they got ahead of Regnum Kaya.
A little bit of a ahead of the curve there, but Regnum Kaya going to swing low on the rotate here underneath King, who backs off. Not really going to find shots as well from the high ground. Yeah, Thunder Talk. Really going to have an impact on this Regnum Kaya rotation from here on out as they divert further north. Alter Ego fairly split around this position. I think this could be a very dangerous spot. It's definitely getting more and more dangerous as Silas hops to the passenger seat, doesn't go for the spray down. Rosemary going past all 4 of Regnum Kaya's players and getting out alive is a wild achievement here. And Rosemary is completely diverged from the rest of his team, which I think is what you're going to talk about right now.
No, actually, what I was going to talk about is that I think for Regnum Kaya, this is a fine play to go for because they want to confirm over towards Longhouse. And I think that if you see a play like this heading up the road, you're worried the rest of the team is heading towards Longhouse before you. Alpha 7 get themselves first blood over towards Oath. Great news for them as they're crossing in from the western side. They clear out their competitors over towards that east edge, which is great. Makes their rotation a little bit easier. But for Regnum Kaya, as a distraction play for Alter Ego, that would make sense for Rosemary to make that play to drag Regnum Kaya away from Longhouse so they can take it and backfill them. So I think Regnum Kaya just kind of ignoring them there and securing that position is the right play.
Still, though, driving past, like, bumper to bumper, wheel to wheel with Regnum Kaya is so dangerous.
Absolutely, but it's 4 vehicles. So you know that if they want to take shots, they have to switch seats, which is also really hard to hit when a car's going straight past you.
That's true as well.
Yeah.
The closer you are, the faster you have to turn, and that makes it really tough. I suppose. Either way, I'm certainly not doing it. That's not my job.
No, it's scary.
Ooh, big northeast shift going up to the north of El Azahar. That is scary. Yeah,
Alter Ego now has eyes on down towards Regnum Kaya, and they know they got to move. Because they're closest towards the northeast edge other than maybe D+ and E Arena. So Regnum Kaya wants to leave, but Alter Ego could be horrible here and just hold them out.
I don't think Alter Ego do want to stay there because they know they can't hold this split with all the teams going to be approaching from that southwest side. Let me speak about finding a vehicle. Or to be fair, it wasn't at full speed, but we were just talking about vehicles.
And he was driving away from him, so it made it easier.
Yeah, that's true, that's true. But yeah, Alter Ego know that they can't hold that split on the south side. With the number of teams that were playing on the south, that ground is going to get covered time and time again, so they have to go up further north. Playing 3 here on the gas station, out west of El Azahar. I don't think that's terrible. Alter Ego, though, they may lose 1 to Regnum Kaya either way. Silas will need a little bit of a pick-me-up, though, and that could slow them down, maybe give the rest of Alter Ego an opportunity, but are they going to want to leave their current spot? Looks like they do.
This is a fine position, though, to play. And again, for Wild, this is not leaving. This is scouting. And make sure you see as much as possible around you, because you don't have a lot of sight lines whilst you're in that ditch, so you need to maintain vision, right? And so they maintain vision whilst getting the res off. Smart play from Regnum. I like that Alter Ego tried to get a little bit aggressive with it. Weren't successful, though. But they did try and hold them out, but now there's more teams. Chips from D+. Oh, God, these teams hate each other so much.
Well, yeah, it's an rivalry. Old blood, new mutiny, you know the story. Alter Ego looking for the roll-up. They've lost Snape, but Mormon not able to find a knock on the approach. Doesn't do the full Monty on the damage. And Krypton now with a chance to nade him out of position. The first aid saves Mormon's life there. Able to keep him ticking over just about. Can look to regroup or just fade away, because at the moment, Alter Ego, they're not going to be able to get up to crash on towards him. They do not have the power on their roster right now, with Snape taken out of the mix, and E-Arena with that sideswipe angle on Tony K.
So E-Arena able to get on that north side is good for them. And at 29 points, the Thai team is doing quite well. So although we have the invite team from Thailand in Vampire, I think E-Arena's creating a good showing for this country. Really, really nice to see. DRX get a couple of pot shots over towards AJ, but Thunder Talk do need to get out of dodge. The Thunder has been relatively quiet today. Most of the loudness is coming through from this F249 from QXZ.
QXZ spray down towards King. Not quite connecting, but I mean, it is at range on a moving target. It's always tough. Next circle about to pop in just 2 seconds. Where's it going to go? Up north again. Oh, it's DX Xavier in the middle. Okay, that's cool. That's fine. That's actually fine. That's actually fine.
Well, I think at this point we need to admit to ourselves that maybe, just maybe, DX Xavier has some killer rotates.
Okay.
They do need to regroup one another, because we have Paragin as well as Nate, as you can see in the back line here, looking to regroup on top of the rest of the squad, who got there fairly quickly. Wow, that's a lot of airtime. That is a lot of airtime. That's plus 800, bonus on the ×2, 1600. Fantastic stuff. Well done.
Brilliant. No notes. Fantastic.
Yeah, no,
just don't crash into, actually no, one note, don't crash into the tractor at the end. Regnum Kaya move on up towards the center as well. They move first out of pretty much everybody here. Kara stretching out on their north side. E-Arena on the west didn't want to move. A lot of the teams in that area did not want to move, which is why they were the team to move first. But APG are going to try and fill in where Regnum Kaya have left that void, have left that little vacuum. Silas alone on an off angle, but they do have 4 players alive, so back up, very easy to marshal that way.
Lemon over towards Kara. Silas down to Reefus. Goodness me. Bit of an unfortunate loss there, Silas, on a very wide split. Pulling a dock, to which then Doc pulls a second dock. Pulls the original dock, and Silas replicates the dock. Maybe?
Hits him with the, oh yeah?
Oh yeah, let me try.
Yeah, what about if I do it though, huh? What are you going to do then? The answer apparently is get flushed. That is not fun for Silas. But playing on a 3, they're fairly central. They do still have legs into this match. Team Flash did get a little bit high fear in the last game, and with Regnum Kaya losing a player, well, it's only fair that D+ lose 1 too. That point doesn't go to them though. It will go over towards Team Flash.
D+ still rotating on the south side right now. Far away from a lot of squads. Thundertalk basically controlling the majority of the eastern edge alongside with DRX, but DRX has been a bit of a wild card today, a little bit of a dangerous team to be running into, full of thorns and spines. Not a team you want to be getting close amongst the circle with. There is this very much defining, horrid landscape over on the western side of this circle. Very rocky, a lot of defilades available. Teams can be hidden there quite nicely as APG rocks on top of Regnum Kaya, and it is a bloodbath.
All right, we're back to league stage APG. Nice to know. Nice to know indeed. And another nade, and another, and the spray. It's Kara chiming in as well. Trying to take a chunk out of them. Not going to leave him alone here now. Just the one player, and he's stuck in a ditch. Will go up in smoke as Zedwolf to be the longest lasting, but it is not going to be a legacy to remember for them. Not this time around. And that will be Regnum Kaya done and dusted for their first Miramar. Didn't hot drop though, so that's good.
No, they did not. And it is Vampire who outlast them down on the southwest side. Very, very interesting circle. DXavier basically want the Eastern Shift. If they get that, it puts them in really good stead with the double split they've got going on right now, holding both really strong compounds. Other teams don't really want to full commit over there as well because unlike some areas of the map, both these splits can quite easily cover one another with the open space that surrounds this area too, which is very, very cool to see.
Maintain that space. I mean, it's such an important position for APG that will be necessary. The fact that they held that as a 3-1 on Regnum Kaya, I mean, that's their vulnerability, right? And that's why they couldn't quite condense that. Unfortunate. Ulf losing one to that split in the middle. That's all the way up to the north side. Shouldn't be too dangerous for them. It's fairly likely, I think, that they are going to be able to get that res. It's just a question of when and what impacts they're going to have, because the Mad Bull's pushing in on the north side. Makes the position for Ulf a lot less tenable.
Yeah, man. It's a bit tough for Ulf now. I think for Ulf, maybe coming to a close soon. Only 3 players left alive now, and it's a slight issue of playing around this terrain with Mad Bulls also starting to sink their teeth in. Alpha 7, though. I still rate their chances on Miramar. I think Revo is like one of the key factors, as well as Carrillo, to a Miramar game for this team. You add Obscure as well as Guizhou into the mix. I don't think it matters too much. I think that still works regardless. APG's really on a tear this game, though, aren't they, huh?
I mean, they've either got it or they don't, right? We thought it was day to day. That change around seems like it's match to match, but ZS now with a challenge. They took down one of D+ earlier on, and now they've got a couple more bogeys on the radar. Apparently, just about dodging around that one on the buggy. ZS is so low, has to step back with the smoke blooming. It's not going to be enough to find the cover. Tops does connect though onto Fabian, which is going to give them a little bit more breathing room. Win hopping through that vehicle, dropping another smoke. Osal trying to marshal his way on into the sidelines, and APG chime in with a third party down towards the off angle for Team Flash. That's going to hopefully, if you're a D+ fan, make it a little bit easier. But R8 are clashing over on the western edge with, well, Alter Ego off in the distance, but it's E-Arena on the plate right now. As the nades start to fly, both teams looking to move eastwards, but neither able to make it without the other going down first.
No, he's been sent to the smoke there, not finding quite as much value as R8 might have hoped. They're going to keep pushing in here. I think for R8, you want to get yourself back up to speed, but they're just going to crash it. Okay, I love this from R8. Very dangerous, though.
Oh, they don't love it. They're hating it more and more by the second. Another knock sent over towards to Ida, and that's from Alpha 7. Amori now, the last to stand. Does D+ Kia go down in the meantime? Only one elim. Not a great start to their tournaments. Their first day not going well. E-Arena now swelling over the top. Alpha 7 marching forwards as well to third party. 3 players on E-Arena, but they're busted down to 2 as NC2 does fall to a nade. Alpha 7 really putting the crunch on this with another nade finding its mark over towards Tony K. Now just Mormon left standing as they keep continuing forwards. Guizhou moves on in, steps in for the fight, gets the spray down. E-Arena pushed aside. Rosemary's in this fight somehow. Okay. He's here from Alter Ego as Amori still down the hill. Gonna across the way, looking to try and stay alive to fight another day.
Yeah, smart moves right now from Alter Ego, honestly, with them setting themselves a little bit further ahead of this. They set up an outpost down towards that southwest side too, so very lovely stuff. And honestly, for Roseberry with the FAMAS, maybe just walk this off slightly. But I will say for Murray, quite amusing watching his teammates crash into that building and then just noping out.
They got absolutely shredded.
He was like, yeah, I'm not following that.
I'm not.
That seems like a bad play to me.
That's gone really badly, guys.
Yeah.
I did not
I know
like
we're
that.
meant to do bad plays together, but in this instance, I think I'm going to live.
We're all in this. No, we're not. I'm leaving. But he is straight out of there, but hopefully surviving. I don't know if Alpha 7 know he's there either. And in Stage 5, you can survive in this blue for a little bit of time. Alpha 7 going to have to move. Vampire, they're moving in as well from the southwest edge. They've lost a player, as APG still very much on the hunt this Miramar. Holding a little bit of a split. It's much closer than it was before. They know at this point you do need to regroup. Amori, you need to get a move on now. He's got a vehicle, so he could very much get in on this one, but not too many options in terms of places to go is the issue.
Yeah, he's got to be fast. I mean, he's already got to hit another first aid kit off the back of this one. Alter Ego's still hanging around here like a couple of sharks. DRX on the high ground. There's over towards that northeast side now. Talk were able to get towards the mound down on the south. It is Vampire finding those shots. Once again, that's a pretty long distance as well, honestly. But APG should hear those shots. Have a little bit of awareness down towards that side. APG currently trying to fight and climb up to where DX Xavier is currently playing. Great shot again over towards Alva.
Oh, I think Amori spotted Alva as well. That's going to draw Alter Ego's attention north. Maybe Amori can make it in. He's going to be so low, so close to the wire. Alter Ego getting taken apart in the meantime. Losing Alva on that off angle. Goes down, but a lovely step up from Rosemary. Looking pretty with it. On the spray down towards Obscure, but maybe he's over-focused. There's two players to your right. You need to be looking over the ridgeline. The nade gonna send him packing, but Rosemary, how do you get away with that? That was way over-peaking on the angle. Way too much commitment on time, but he's just out of there.
Hey man, he knew exactly how much damage he could take. That's all that happened. Top though finds Amuri. He made his way in. A valiant attempt from him, but not quite fully finding the catch there right at the end. But APG has had a real swivel on them this game.
You just never know with that team. Krypton getting naded out of position, finally going down. Had to be one of them first, didn't it?
Yeah, I'd be annoyed if I was Krypton. You know, they're trying to nade out Rosemary. They find his position by accident.
Unfortunate stuff. Rosemary still alive and kicking though. For Alter Ego, he's in the zone as well, so could have a impact onto Alpha 7, who are playing as 3. Vampire facing them down as well on the hillside. A lot closer to Ziol from APG, who's flexing out onto this fight. Wide flex out from this fight. Tony K looking to try and hold the off angle against it. Alpha 7 not really wanting to push in on it.
I think they're concerned about wraps, right? Because, yeah, for this exact reason. As soon as they start taking shots, a team is going to want to try and wrap on this and get that ground so they can start moving in from that eastern side. Where Alpha 7 is right now, it's a straight shot over towards the east, which is their landing point, right? But if a team from the south or the north can pick that off Alpha 7, ooh, they get themselves a real good spot in the circle to work with.
Looking to take the fight towards the east side. Kraken takes them really heavily down, though. The off angle keeps them safe, but on the north side, the blue zone's moving forwards. They don't have a lot of time to pick these reses back up. For DRX, this is really dire. But I think they're going to be able to tag on at least one for the res. We'll see if they can get all 4, but Vampire now trying to challenge the stronghold that APG have held in the middle for such a long time. Tony K cannot stand the heat, but instead steps into the fire. That's not where you want to be when things are getting hot. Tony K goes down. He steps on towards it. Those smokes not going to be lasting too much longer. Vampire's position will be given away fairly shortly. APG take a knock. Refus is down and Top's very low.
At least Doc's able to find a shot off towards the side there, able to take down Revo from Alpha 7. 2 big dogs in the arena, taking shots to one another right now, both equally accurate, but Alpha 7's way more exposed.
This is really nasty stuff. And all the while, DX Xavier, big chilling in the circle blank. They have had a great time this game again. We're going to see a third today. Well, we'll have to wait and see. Vampire losing another. They are now down on one player. They haven't got any elims yet either. APG though, yeah, they're going to get the full reset here. Meowla cannot really feasibly maybe get an nade in. No, he's not going to go for it.
Squeeze out. Takes a couple of hits there. Doc currently doesn't even have a vest, by the way. He's been taking punches to the chest, left, right, and center this game. Still continuing on. Definitely bruised, though. Now, like with the nade over the top. Doc's trying to ascertain the position. And top punch.
That was a swift execution there by Top. Reefus knocked again. The angle, and that bleed out should be coming through fairly fast. Thunder Talk as well. They're on 6 elims at the moment, Blank. They've been quietly racking up these points. Now DXavier finally looking to leave. They flex out all the way south and try and push into the hills, but they are being backed off fairly forcefully as Paragen's very, very low. The backline by Lambor looking to try and hide on that high ground, and DRX are going to assist on this as well. But Paragen, he's getting taken down. He is going to get flinked away. DXavier have to turn straight back to where they came from.
600 damage in the game for Doc. It's starting to be a real good one here. And it does feel like we're heading in the direction of a Doc MVP. Reefus, though, finding Guizhou now. You got to admit, though, that for...
Oh, come on,
my God. Great save. Great save. You got to admit, though, for Alpha 7, some of the shots they've been sending back over towards APG, really, really good. Really good shots. I think that Alpha 7 would have been down and out much, much earlier if it wasn't for the fact that they were really difficult to take down here. And every time APG wanted to peek them or anything like that, they were consistently taking big damage.
Alpha 7 able to step up, take a flush away from Thunder Talk, who were the ones to get the knock. APG are down with 11 eliminations. A really solid profit on their spot. I think that's a very, very good game for them. Not unhappy with that in the slightest. And again, a classy game played. Thunder Talk rolling in. The swap bleeding out. Alpha 7 do lose another player. With 4 players alive, Thunder Talk may have just come alive into this Miramar. Sweeping around, slowly rack up these points. Alpha 7 fall before them. And now if DRX can get themselves back up to 4, maybe they can challenge. But you've also got DXavier across the road. Needing to cross, though, to this northern side of things.
Well, I mean, this game has been very much defined by Thunder Talk, DRX, Alpha 7, DXavier, as well as our
APG.
final players from APG. So many points on all of those squads. I think they were all reaching around about 8 to 11 elims. Fantastic to take a look at here. DRX very dry, but as is everyone else. The main sticking point is that DXavier has quite a few smokes to work with, but they lost a player earlier too. So maybe, just maybe, we're getting a Thunder Talk game.
Looks like they've actually managed to move up into these foothills and take quite a lot of this circle. They get the next shift on top of them as well. It's a complete donut on this circle. Dead center. And we're going to the center of that beyond. DXavier have got this. If they can hold, if they can stay alive, they've got the center circle position. If he froze everyone, they would be the team to win right now. But you can guarantee that there is not a frozen finger in the house. They are already itching to pull that trigger. Kaiksei stays too long, and the king sends him packing.
Number 8 sent from Singh there in the back lines. Looking for a little bit more damage. The DXavier, Lambo's trying to find an off angle, but I'm not sure how much value he's finding from this eastern spot. He does have the high ground to work with it, but it's mainly Nate as well as Levi's getting the work done. Lovely nade over the top there. But Levi's will hit the deck as DRX is just venomous in this lobby. Spitting poison wherever they look.
DXavier, though, wanting to put a third chicken dinner on the day today. But DRX, I think they're going to ruin that. I don't think that you can survive Lambor with the auto shotty. Has all of the DRX players now bearing down upon him. Has got the cover. Hasn't been cooking. No steps out with a shotgun.
My
and
God.
is immediately put down. QXE has been flushed out in the meantime. But now with just one player on the off angle, DXavier on Nate alone. Thunder Talk maybe back in control of this game.
Hyunbin with a crazy shot there. Instantaneous, no messing around. Very good stuff. Hyunbin definitely one of the players that we speak about most often when we're talking about South Korea. really stepping up here for his team on DRX.
I think I caught that right. I think DXavier are on no elims right now. I think they're on 0 elims on this match. They've already got up into a 3rd place. With zone closing, dead center, he is going to have to move off the hillside. Deciding has him in his sights. He can't move without being known, is the issue. Those smokes that you were talking about earlier, they're now run through.
You have to chew through all of them just to get to this point in the game, and we're in zone 9, starting to close now. DXavier getting 3rd place, I think even that is a fairly successful result considering the day that DXavier has had. Should keep them in the top spot. I think APG's very close though, but we'll find out later with the desk. In the meantime, So Easy would love this point over towards Natey as he continues to push up. Spots vision, and we'll find it. And we're into a 3 versus 4. Thunder Talk, whose day has been lackluster, versus DRX, who were just getting started.
Nades over. Currently a little bit more central, I think, for DRX. This flat ground that sits between the 2 teams. No man's land right now, but is where the circle is very likely to end up. DRX trying to keep those off angles. No, Kaisei actually folding back in towards the divot. The fact that there are no nades on Thunder Talk is so crucial here. Those 4 Molotovs need to be huge for them. Control that ground, control the approach, because the opening salvo for DRX, it's coming now. Kaisei steps over, and Xing might be burnt away with this.
Just a little bit. We'll bear them a distance though. That is the main thing. But no more nades for either team. Mano a mano, just the weapons in hand. M79s laying down the smoke, denying the entry, allowing Thunder Talk to get closer towards the center of the circle. So Easy, maybe looking for a shot here. It's getting tough.
All of the players are still alive and looking fairly healthy. I think that's going to change soon though, Blank. That smoke train has allowed DRX to keep this one going with a full flash.
What
the
a
full
stun!
white out there. The stun is on, but King goes down first, and Yunbin with a huge stand up on the off angle, looking for more.
Oh my God!
DRX! How can you make that happen? From down beneath, they dare them step over that ridgeline. We've got you in our sights.
Thunder caught in a bottle, and the talk is in the Hyun bin. What a disastrous end there for them. Oh my days, DRX. Hyun bin was on a tear that match, and he wasn't about to let that highlight reel up.
A brilliant hold. The man chewed through 2 players there, and there was nothing that they could do about it. It seemed the lack of nades really, really horrible for them. That smoke cover forcing them close. We're going to play this shotgun meta. Some say that it originated from Korea. They brought it back home.
I mean, Fabian, the DBS godfather. You're looking at the boys there on DRX, and you throw in a stun grenade. It doesn't matter. We're at PMGC right now. DRX is used to playing under the light.
Oh, and they're walking off stage together. At least no fists are thrown there. Goodness me. Civil outside. Totally messy on the inside of the game, though. That was a brilliant Miramar to close down. APG held the center for so long, but it was taken in the end away from them.
DRX finally get their chicken dinner here in Miramar. Max, I know you love this one.
I've been waiting for DRX to get the big game that they were going to eventually pull off. And this was the one on Miramar. Love to see it from Korea. But man, Hyunbin, I keep saying it, MVP contender. Oh my goodness, his shots in this time of need against the entirety of Thunder Talk was so impactful, Seven. And using these smoke streams to make that transition to this small ridge was even better, in my opinion.
It really was. And I mean, in this scenario right here, so it's too, making sure that he knocked off King and providing that extra support too. I gotta go back to this squad though. I gotta back it up a little bit. I was really impressed with the way that they were able to rotate north. They were a little bit north where DX was earlier in the match. They decided to go and hunt down and just clash Goat Gaming, winning that engagement, giving them pretty much all of the north for free, and that was the setup play, I feel like, Max.
Yeah, not even that. Also, I think it was QXZ just setting up the entirety of Ult for failure. He just completely clutched up in that situation. QXZ MVP contender alongside So Easy, Hyunbin, even Sizzy's doing so good for 3 eliminations. I feel like I'm saying every player on this team is an MVP contender because I love DRX so much. And you know what, chat? Yes, I am biased, and I'll keep being so until the end of these grand finals. But not only just their fight and clone the northern side you're talking about, Seven, it's also making sure that if the Xavier do a mistake, which they do make eventually by Levi's getting knocked, they capitalize on that literally instantly. The moment Levi's is down, they rock up, they take the ridge, the little dip, and that is not only just a position to get eliminations onto Xavier, but also to start fighting Thunder Talk because you have that really strong dip to fight them with.
You're talking about the Xavier once again in a top 3 situation, making sure that they find themselves always, early on too, Max, always finding themselves in a position where they're going to be able to challenge. Now, I don't want everybody at home to be thinking that DX is just getting lucky with the zones, because that is not the case. Something that DX was able to do quite great was the splits that they had in Al-Hazar. They had 3 players in Al-Hazar and some as well towards the north. That was the winning play. As soon as they realized that this squad, you know what, circle closes, with how much room they have to work with, automatically go towards the compound where they think. So it's just the awareness for this one, and also with a little bit of luck from the circle.
I was going to say, I wanted to have a small counter. There is definitely some circle luck at play for Xavier, which, you know, you always need a little bit of luck when it comes to battle royales, especially for PUBG Mobile Esport. But guess what? If you're a center team in the mid game, chances are a lot of the time the circle is going to go your way. And Xavier know that. They're like, we go center very early on. We take the compound, we hold it down. We saw them, especially, I think, Seven, you mentioned it a few times, the utility game with the grenades, with the Molotovs, has been standout this PMGC so far. They can defend the position, they can make it very far. And I want to see how many placement points they have after this game because, oh my goodness, their survival time must be through the roof.
It's going to be insane. And something that the Xavier was able to do as well is they were making sure that they backed off Thunder Talk at one point. Because Thunder Talk had a 3-1 split where I think it was Ajay was on the other side of the road, and Thunder Talk realized this is not a fight we want to take. Guess who we're going to go take a fight with? They went and took a fight with APG, which absolutely caught them off guard.
Yeah, definitely did catch them off guard. That was a bit of a tricky fight, but here we go looking at the rotations of these teams. We can't see Regnum Kara. I wish we could. They didn't drop Picardo. That's a conversation maybe for later on. We'll see how that goes. But Alpha 7, this circle, we had a very southern plane path. Right? Very northern. Phase 1, especially Circle 2, keeps going towards Tierra Bronca. And Alpha 7, dodging literally 100% of the lobby with that rotation alone, getting them very far in the game. The later fights are a bit tough, but that early rotate from Alpha 7 is played to perfection.
It is, and for Alpha 7, one thing that we got to point out for that squad is the way that they were able to third-party the fight between RA and E Arena, because once they were able to do that, it just clears up all of the ease for them, and then they have to start worrying about other squad. Luckily, I mean, if for non-Alpha 7 fans, they ended up running into APG, and APG was starting to just pick them apart.
Yeah, though looking at the teams also did really good at the end. I love that split from Thunder Talk over the road, really trying to make sure they can clear all of that southern edge, making sure the Xavier also don't push them, which you already referenced here, Seven. So Thunder Talk, we said it just before this game, right? We want to see some presence from the only PL team, RIP Weibo. And you know what? That was definitely a good game, and Sitting in particular, getting a few limbs, which we love to see him do well in these matches.
Yeah, them being able to adjust, like the 3-1 split, realizing the Xavier was coming for them and saying, you know what, let's take a different path, let's take a different route, ends up working out wonders for them, Jukes.
Yeah, beautifully done from them. And you know what? I love to hear, you know, that some teams will take a little bit of circle luck, but sometimes you got to make your own luck. But as we look down at the bottom of the leaderboards, I see a lot of teams with some low numbers. Regnum Karya with 1. DK again with 1, Max?
No.
No.
No, that's quite unfortunate. But again, for Regnum Karya, I'm not going to be too harsh. I still think the idea of going for the trash to the west of Picardo is the best decision ever. It was a bad game, 1 point, but you know what? I'm not going to be too harsh. Still the very good decision that could reward them heavily in the long term, though. So easy. Keep talking about QXZ. We keep talking about Hyunbin. This time around, it's so easily being the MVP of this match. And DRX, I want to see this game for the rest of their matches because it was clear, concise. It seemed easy for DRX, to be completely honest. Seven, I don't know if you agree. This is the DRX with the effortless gameplay that we love to see in a global event.
I mean, this is what happens when DRX don't have to fight their way through the whole lobby, I feel like, as they had to do it in the previous match. And there you go. DX still first place. And who's that in second place, Max?
Yeah!
Yeah!
Again, hella biased. DRX second place, tied up here with APG. But actually, a silent hitter team that we've talked about a few times here and there. Ulf, sneakily pushing up there in 4th position. Well, they dropped down a little bit, but Ulf, they're ramping up their aggression that we did not see at the start of the gauntlet. Day 3 Gauntlet, hella aggressive, and that's kind of bleeding through into the grand finals. So Ulf learning a lot and able to keep it up in the finals.
Yes, yeah, I'd love to see that adaptation. You know what? Also, though, guys, make sure you log in the game as soon as you possibly can, so that way you can get that permanent Polar Party Mini 14 for free, guys. So make sure you go ahead and do that as well. There is an emote, the Rev It Up emote. So you guys got a few days to get that done. Log in as soon as you possibly can. And of course, we got to give some love, of course, to the Infinix GT30 series, the official gaming phone for 2025 PMGC. Engineered for precision, performance, and victory. Go get yours today, so that way you guys can outplay the rest. Let's go make the championship predictions to go ahead and get some rewards as well, guys. You have till today and tomorrow. That is it. Plug in your predictions. Get all of these rewards, because Max has already got them all.
I got everything, and I even got the PMGC skin.
One prediction that was wrong from us was the hot drop. We didn't end up getting the hot drop there in Picado. Actually, as soon as I saw them not hot drop, I ran. And I mean, I ran to the coach's room.
He did.
I went and talked, and I sat down, and I was like, Regnum Karya coach, when did you decide that it was going to be a bad idea to hot drop with Vampire Esports? And they were like, you know what? We actually decided today, and it wasn't the coach. It was the players that decided to not go for the hot drop, go for that trash loot that you were talking about. And it just goes to show the maturity out of this squad, especially when you have Silas in the squad, especially when he's been in this situation. And they know what's at stake. They know that they cannot just waste one match, even though this match didn't end up going their way.
And I'm going to go very hard on this point. This is such a small decision, but they're so impactful that is a decision making, in my opinion, Hot Jukes, that wins you tournaments, right? Because guess what? Miramar, except for that 1 point game, but that was an exception, let's say, that can get you so many more consistent points on that Miramar. So for me, Regnum Kara, I'm happy you did not go for the ego fight, and that gets me even more excited for the next Miramars. Unless they go for it now, because it would be hella funny, but please don't.
I think it's a big decision. I mean, for sure. They needed to go and decide to, you know what, let's go ahead and respect the home team. You know what I'm saying? They got a little home court advantage. Why not give it to them, Seven?
Sorry, I'm always over here thinking about the overall. Are we being spoiled right now by what DX Xavier is currently doing in regards to those placement points? Because you pointed that out to me earlier, Max. And this squad right now is sitting at 34 placement points. I want to see APG pump it up in regards to the placement points. This is a squad that's currently sitting at 14, but they have been fragging out, Hot Jokes.
Yes, they have. 10 eliminations in Zone 7 in the last one. How many will they get in this one as we head for the final time to the beautiful hot desert of Miramar? Let's go ahead and take it to our casters, John and Blake.
Oh, you love to see some maturity on the desert. The players will call it quits over on the Picado hot drop. Well, we'll not see that one again, hopefully. But if things get tense, you know, maybe it could break out again. We'll keep an eye out, but I'm hoping that it will continue. Plane path for our last match today will take us along the west side of Miramar, from Bartona up towards La Cabrera.
Much nicer plane path, though. I'll tell you that right now.
Very true.
Way easier to work with. Most teams get themselves over towards the west and the east side fairly handily here. Los Leones is open, as is La Tierra. But it's likely going to be Monte Nuevo, El Pozo that teams might clash over. We know Picado right now is kind of solved. I'd say it was solved at this point.
We hope so. Although, there was Ulf in the wings as well. And so a readjustment from them, maybe target towards Regnum Kaya if they're feeling cheeky. Could be difficult on the outside. It might force them to go, oh, you know what, let's fight for Picado again. Things like that can start to have an impact. Thundertalk going to try and go long over this one. Potential for some air shots here from Vampire. If they spot Thundertalk going long over their heads, if they touch ground first, they get some weapons early on a rooftop, definitely could try and find a shot, but I think Thundertalk are now out of danger. Circle breaks out to the east side blank, and terrible flashbacks for Regnum Kaya at PMGC.
Yep, it's not too far out towards the east, though, so we're not worrying about an island finish just yet. Alter Ego currently here alongside with Goat Team. But very playable right now, I'd say, for both squads. Alter Ego got very split on that last match. They were trying, in my opinion, right now they're trying to do a little bit too much. potentially. That's how I
Okay.
feel about it. I think there is a fair few times where I look at Alter Ego and I think to myself, it's a wide split. It feels unnecessary. That play, if sometimes Rosemary will send out, but more often than not, it's like all the team. Like Alvaro will make long rotates out to the side, and I'm like, yeah, I don't think you needed to do that. I think you were totally okay to keep just playing your game.
As you saw there on the screen as well, for the next few days until the end of the PMGC, you can get your Polar Party Mini 14 skin. Make sure you're logging into PUBG Mobile to claim that one, as well as the MO up until the 25th of December. So not long for that one, but even shorter of a run back on that Mini 14 skin. So make sure you're heading on over to claim that with the PUBG Mobile PMGC. That's the one. Redemption code that you can see on your screen. PUBG in Bangkok. That's where we are playing. We're in Bangkok right now.
Oh yeah. It's also cool that it's PUBG in Bangkok because
PUBG United.
it's PUBG United right now. We got PUBG next door. We got PUBG Mobile going on right here. Very cool. Very, very cool. PUBG guys have finished though. We're still trucking on.
They're already at dinner.
All right, we're trucking on though.
Ah, yeah. We'll be here as long as these games keep going. Don't you worry.
7th game?
Yeah, all right.
Yeah. No,
Eighth?
you're meant to say no.
8th game?
I'm
26th game?
I think I'll call it a 6. quite like the six match format. I think any
Yeah.
more than that it does make the players go a little bit delirious.
It's very nicely divisible. 7's a prime number, so you can't actually do that
No.
on a day. It's
No.
not all right.
No.
Yeah. It's like volume on a TV.
Mm.
Gotta
But yeah,
set it just right.
I do think 7 match plus is player delirium hours.
That is
We
true.
do often get like some funny plays on match 6 quite a lot just because the players, these guys have got a long day. It's been a long day for them
Oh,
so
yeah.
far. And especially on day 1 where you've really got to put all your work into it. If you're D+, you're hating life right now. And it's been a long day. And you're hating life right now. So it's a double whammy. They're
That's-
getting double whammied at the moment.
They really are. They really, really are. They're dropping in Partona right now, Blank. That's how whammied they are.
they're so
They are
whammied.
so
They're
whammied. They
so
dropped in
whammied.
Partona, dude, on Miramar.
Holy, yeah,
It's
that's
insane.
That's bad. That's bad. Yeah, I think D+.
That's so sad.
Oh no.
Oh no, D+, it's okay. You can come back. Probably not, but you can.
Yeah, I think. If I'm being real,
Yeah.
I think it's GG. I think it's very unlikely you get a Kara or an APG day in PMGC. We're talking 90 plus points in a day. If that was possible, then maybe, but the likelihood of that happening is so thin in PMGC that I genuinely think D plus might be dead.
Might be so, well, the back-to-back may be undefendable at this point. Is
Oh
what you're
yeah,
saying.
yeah.
That's not.
They
gonna be
could certainly
nice.
work their way up the tables, but
Yeah.
yeah, you're right. The back to back, it might have been zapped day 1, tasered.
Ooh, that is not a good feeling for anyone involved there. They are certainly not happy about it. But, oh goodness me, but they could see their countrymen find that chicken dinner
However,
at the top. Yeah, well, you know, if they don't win it, I'm sure they'd prefer it if someone from South Korea won it as well. For
Yeah.
DRX right now, it's much more likely, especially after that chicken dinner.
So what
that
you're
they
saying
rather
is that D plus should just crash Regnum Kaya every game.
Yeah, you're right. I did actually say that just
Would
then.
that be collusion?
I'm not going to speculate about admin type
About
decisions.
things that are happening now and again?
Yeah, because-
yeah.
I feel like we could get in a lot of trouble for that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
probably.
we're probably talking about something else. Anyway,
It's
well,
just
okay, we're on board with that.
speculation.
Oh yeah, Alpha 7 on screen. Okay, yeah, we can talk about them.
Just speculation.
We can talk about them. They have yet to claim. I feel like they're probably one of the most notable teams in the world not to have claimed a PMGC title. And I think that's.
Yeah, I think they're they're happy with their PMWC win.
We just got that one. You know,
Yeah,
we'll take the
that's
mid-season.
cool.
You
That's
guys have
cool.
the end. You guys have
Yeah.
the end of the year. But I do think that.
If they didn't keep switching players out all the time, maybe they would have a win. Okay, if I'm being real.
Oh well. Keep you guessing, don't they?
They really do. I feel like Creo and Revo seem the only ones that could live on.
God, they're just not willing to pay a full day rate on the other players. no. No, you only played 5 matches today. You don't get a full day rate, sorry.
It is frustrating because I think that the base of that team with Mafioso, Revo, Cleo, great. It's just like, they had McGrellin, and McGrellin was awesome. McGrellin really was a player that kind of knit that team together nicely. He got kicked. It's like, what did he do? What did he do wrong? I'm so curious.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to speculate because we are now on board with Rosemary versus Tony K. Rosemary misses the first spray down, but steps up for the second. Knocks that one out of the park. The backup was coming through, but doesn't seem to be needed. The spray down is good. And they find a point. Alter Ego take one of E-Arena. That is good because Alter Ego are behind E-Arena, so they're happy.
Yeah. I think for Alter Ego at the moment, 26 points, it's not ideal. It's really not ideal for Alter Ego. And I personally think that Alter Ego can go way further than just that. I think Alter Ego is a fantastic team. And this is kind of, I was trying to cut Max off also on desk early when he was talking about Alter Ego being like the next Megatron, which I have said in the past, but more in passing, more in a passing sense.
Not as a key point.
Not as a key point. Yeah, exactly. Like that wasn't my keynote in my PUBG Mobile talk.
You went in your turtleneck.
Exactly.
Alter Ego next Megatron.
Yeah, walking onto the stage
Thank you
with
for
my
coming to
clicker. Yeah,
Oh.
no. Stop. But yeah, I think for Alter Ego, I would love this team to do so well. I think Indonesia deserves a bit of good. They've consistently been getting towards the finals multiple times.
That is true.
And they've produced several strong teams. That's like my main thing about it.
Regnum Kai are clashing right now. Fairly, well,
deep
just
plus?
west of the central. No, it's Team Flash coming off in the distance. They do look pretty resible, though. Vampire, though, crashing in, may be able to drive the stake home through the heart of Regnum Kaya. But Loxy is on the hunt, looks for that flush and immediately gets it. They're diverted away. Team Flash actually going to be crashing in, but seeing Vampire here as well, that's going to slow Team Flash down. Okay, going for a little bit of a side hop out there. Loxy is going to be rebuffed off of that angle at Zedwolf all the while. What's he doing? Where's he fending off towards?
Did that vehicle just fly over the top of his head?
Where did he come from? Win!
Oh, he's actually got him. Zedwolf's found it from the sidelines. Fantastic news. Yeah, that vehicle went over his head, grazed him, gave him a buzz cut.
Okay. There we go. Finally putting that fight to sleep. Over the trick jump. Over the ramp will be shut down. Regnum Kaya, they like to play that spot, but they had 2 teams rolling up on them simultaneously, and they end their day on 35 points blank. That's not a tournament winning performance right now. Their Miramars have gone fairly poorly, all things considered. They definitely needed a little bit more, considering that they're going down first in this match.
Yeah, I think Regnum Kaya, they're not in a losable position. Right, there's still time to bring this back tomorrow, and we know that Regnum Kaya can put up big points. Obviously, 35 points is a little bit lackluster, considering where DXavier are in Impala. It's like slightly tough, right? With DXavier consistently being in these central zones. Vietnam wants this win. They really do.
Oh, yeah. Their split, though, I think is going to start to get dangerous fairly soon.
Yeah, I hate that.
They're wide,
Yeah, I
wide
didn't see
split.
that. Didn't see that.
Okay.
See that now? I hate that.
Yeah, okay. They do have the north side of Impala, but it's only
being
Nate.
greedy.
It's only Nate.
You're being real greedy right
And then
now.
Parachin's up the top of the mountain. And then they've got two players up all the way up to that north. They're split over about 600 meters blank. They can't see each other.
Theoretically, great play.
Okay.
Because you're maintaining basically all of the really important parts of this zone.
Okay.
Other than off towards the western side. So all of the important parts of the zone on the east side, let's say. But it is so greedy. Don't need to go for this one at all. Oh. Spooky.
Oh.
Very spooky. No, it can't happen.
Oh.
Okay.
No, surely not.
It's teasing.
That surely can't.
Yeah.
To the east. There's no way, right?
It's impossible.
Even if it does, at this point, it's not going to be the same sort of mad scramble.
No. Maybe. Not a lot of space over
Okay,
there.
it's not happening though. Don't worry. it never goes out to the East Islands
But
on PMGC.
the thing is, it does like elevate DXAvia's position a lot.
Yeah, that wide split may actually come back to do some good. Although trying to careen into this, not going to go well. It gets messy. Aaron, the casualty that they will suffer. Now it's just the one player to stand. Solus is the last player. He's got an umbrella of vehicles, though, to sit underneath right now. A UAZ, a buggy, both littering above him. It's oh, a nice little shot in response for Solus to be able to hop back, and that's going to give him a lot of breathing room. Okay, Solus might be able to survive for quite a while as a solo in this.
Doing well. I think that for Ulf, there's been some sloppy plays,
Oh.
but that has been backed up by the fact that they're kind of killing it right now on the leaderboards, 4th place. What a nade from Pusher. Lemon is usually the nader on the team, but that one looked nice. Maybe he's been taking some cooking lessons, obviously of the grenade kind.
Yes. Chef Ramsay.
Lemon's there
Hitting
like,
with the knowledge.
that nade's raw!
It's raw. What are you? I'm a Cara sandwich. A Cara mincemeat now, though. That is for sure. CEO gets away with it, though. Will survive for just a moment longer. And play again as a solo. Quite a few solos, in fact, making their way in. DXAvia, blank. They regrouped.
Great. Absolutely great news. I mean, Nate does fall, though, on the regroup, which is 100% deserved.
He's
But
not out yet.
No, he absolutely is.
He's not out yet.
They're not getting him. They're not getting him.
Oh, they're going to get him.
Okay, you gotta trust me on that, please. The few hours I've watched this game, you gotta trust me on that one.
Yeah.
Though getting 3 players to the high ground here is a really big blessing. Regardless, as long as they're heavily looted, could be a great game off the back of this.
Yeah, I mean, 3 players on that high ground, as you say. It is a lot of potential.
Especially when it's so central too.
Yeah, Vampire with their last player up against Alter Ego, who have got 4, but not all in this spot. Rosemary does tag on some damage. There is off angles. Okay, this is going to force him out to the sight lines, and it's going to be the end of Vampire's day. Oh, not an East Island circle. That's so sad. Everyone hates that. Everyone would have wanted to go to the East Island, I'm sure. But no, we have to go to Impala. We have to help out DXAvia one last time. Oh, Nate didn't make it either.
I told you.
Oh, man. And I didn't believe you.
You didn't. You really did not believe me. And that's okay. All right? You don't have to believe me on everything, but I usually am right.
Do I have to believe you or not having to believe you on everything?
Yeah.
Whoa.
I like how Shane was like, just fall. Fall over, please.
Stop.
I had a really bad game.
Yeah.
I had a really, really bad game. Give me that flush.
Come on, please. Please. Please give me the flush. Oh, come on. Give him a little bit more. I don't know if he has a vehicle up here to drop down with, but should be able to drop either way. Even if he has to get rezzed, is doable. AJ steps a little bit closer, R8. Not really having the pace into these finals that they would have liked right now. Their last match today, they're already cut down to size. No elims found either for the cost of their player. So not how you want to kick things off. Alter Ego chiming in on open season towards R8. But Rosemary, oh, stays too long on the peak, stays a little bit too far forwards. And Goat team, they spot him. They're out in the blue zone as well, out on that west side. I don't think that's rezzable. I think Alter Ego have just fully lost a player there, and the rest of them might be falling soon.
Yeah, I think Alter Ego, again, we just have this weird split right now where we've got Snape over towards the north side. I don't think they're quite confident in what they want to achieve in these matches at the moment. And they play way, way too split. We fixed this, actually, in their group. They absolutely did fix this in their group. They were able to get an insanely high placing in that group too, with a lot of points. We're kind of returning to old habits again. These can be fixed though, but with 26 points, is that going to get you a podium finish? That's a question for tomorrow. But it's going to be a difficult question to answer.
Yeah, it's I mean, if you keep doing 26-point days, then no. No, of course it's not. It's not going to be enough. The question is, can you have that stand-up from that position? Do you have enough room to be thinking about putting, you know, close to 70, 80-point days on the board? Because that's what it needs to find a comeback, right, from that sort of level towards the top of the tables. You need to make it up over to that level. Breaking 100 puts you in the contest, right, over 2 days. Breaking 50 today, that puts you in the contest. Getting high 40s, okay. You're starting to get a little bit risky with it, but anything over 60, you're very happy in terms of your competition for the top spots.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the 60 points is actually phenomenally good. For DXAV being on 54 here, that's very, very nice. I think a lot of teams underneath them, because they are down to 3, they'd love them to go out early. But with that spot they've got on the high ground, it's like they're going to live out for a while. And I quite like that maneuver from them. They saw how close they were to that 60, 70-pointer. If they just get themselves 10 points off the back of this game, they put themselves in really good stead. And that's what can happen once you start to build up a points base, right? A points foundation, is that towards the end of days, you can start to relax things. Rather than having to push out, get a load of points, you can pull it all the way back, get an average of 10, and be very happy with your result at the end of the day. You don't have to pull what currently DRX have to do, which is where they're still pushing, because they need to hit another 20-point game to really set themselves up in good stead.
I mean, I've said this before, right? If you want to increase your scoring, you're playing an 18-match set. Sure, you can get 18 more points in one game, and that will really bump your score up. Or you could do exactly the same impact by getting 1 more point in 18 games. And so finding those little extras, those little top-ups are really important. Alter Ego try and make their way in, but they do just get pulled apart there. They are now down very, very low. Mad Bulls probably losing Tulika here as well. We're going to an Impala Circle, Blank. We're going to an Impala Circle. It looks fairly likely that we're going to end up in the town, but it could go down to DXAV's Mountain.
It could do. I do think Impala Circles horrid at the best of times.
Yeah.
So unenjoyable to traverse through. And it really does feel like we're sort of with this big old grandfather clock just counting down until DEFCON 5 when we get through to the central area where teams are just struggling to move their way in. You get across that road and you get blitzed. It is painful.
Absolutely. We're nearly at the end of our first day. We'll be a third of the way through our tournament after this game. The only team to get an elim so far on DXAVia for this match. Looks for the lineup towards APG, but just about line cover.
Yeah, Paragin, a little bit difficult to find any value off the back of this so far. It will probably start to bear fruit a little bit more once we get an eastern or a southeastern shift on the circle. But right now it's tough. Right now it's very, very tough. Go in a good position. I'd be quite happy to see Go do some good here, but DRX, one player, looking over towards Reefus.
Ooh. I hear the desk oohing and erring over there as well.
Bit of a horror game.
Yeah, I mean, it really is. It will be. Oh, he peeked up there. So easy. I don't know if Reefus clocked it. Kaisei could really pop this one off, right? If he starts taking shots or like gets a little bit too bold, bait Reefus over. We've seen a lot of overpeaks here.
Yeah, this is it's diligent from Reefus. I'll give him that. Continuing to watch this angle. He's kind of playing Five Nights at Freddy's at the moment. Just making shots that keep eyes on everything.
Is that Markiplier? No. That's the only person I know who play. I'm really lacking on the lore from that, but Reefus does step up and Kaisei does go down. So easy still. Silent as a statue.
Okay, but did you check the second guy? That's who you're going to be really worried about.
What? Okay.
He
Found it.
did check the second guy.
He checked the second guy. The second guy got checked right there. Okay, APG able to get rid of the threat on the mountaintop. And they're up to 4 elims now, Blank. They did lose Yol a lot earlier on, but they managed to move in towards the mountain.
That's big experience. Big experience from APG that makes that happen. It's similar to how Regnum Kai were able to spot out Thunder Talk on that Arangel game. You really do have to do your due diligence inside of these matches. And often it pays off with 2 elims there, at least for APG. And it does cut DRX short in terms of the chaser just behind them. Currently now in 3rd place with APG jumping into 2nd.
Kara losing CEO and their match. Well,
It's really horrible.
they did lose the match. They're not playing anymore, are they?
That's true.
No points.
No, you're right. You're right.
Nil
You're right.
point.
You are correct. Just the way you said it.
Yeah, well, you know,
We're at the end of the day.
it's the way they played it, actually.
Yeah. There's no 7th match.
Yeah. There's no 7th match. Looks like they didn't know that.
There is tomorrow. Just in case people
Oh no,
get
there
it
is a 7th
confused.
match. Yeah. No, it is tomorrow.
Yeah.
Don't worry. We
Doesn't
aren't just finishing now
No.
for vibes.
Yeah, we're just making sure that that didn't come across as a miscommunication. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you for clarifying.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Team Flash as 2.
Just there isn't going to be a 7th match.
Trying.
Imminent.
Not right, but like late.
But like
not
later.
right, but like later.
But like tomorrow.
Hopefully Thunder Talk will be there, because right now it's looking less and less likely they're going to be in the rest of this one. They do have King on the inside of Impala. Well, inside just about in Impala. So they have managed to cross one, but that will be all they'll see. But later.
But later.
Yeah.
But later. But later.
But we do. But yeah.
Tomorrow.
So you know today? Yeah, so you know today, right?
But tomorrow.
Yeah, but like if you like wait for one more day, then it'll be tomorrow, and then
Yeah.
the match will be number 7, but it'll be the first, but only that for tomorrow. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
I felt like that's probably a nicer thing to say than just watching Sighting getting peppered right now.
Yeah, I was trying to stay away from that. He's trying to stay away from the bullets, but it's not working
Yeah.
too well.
We've been on this 3x angle for the last 2 minutes, which is fair enough to the observers, because this is why I don't like Impala, because nothing ever happens.
And then it all happens immediately. And that will be the case. Probably moving in towards Circle 7. We have 12 teams remaining, Blank. We are 24 minutes in.
Oh, it's such a boring.
Oh, it will be exciting for 30 seconds. Because right now this lobby
there's
is...
no reason for anyone to move. Like,
Actually,
we're filling time for the next 3 minutes.
Blank, this lobby is already exciting because we don't have sighting anymore. It is X-sighting.
So true. So true. Well done.
There you go.
That's some good wordplay from you.
You are right. It was brilliant. We all had a good time with it.
Usually you're more of a word worker.
Where are you going with
You're all word work and no wordplay.
Oh, it's been a long day for us too. We are going to be getting into Impala
I'll
further
tell you, nothing ever happens. It's finally we get a little bit of excitement.
with this.
This circle is nicer. Does mean Goat has to move. I think that's the only team. Oh no, Ulf.
The solo.
Oh yeah, Alter Ego as well as APG. Yeah, I'm just missing those.
Kind of DX Saver as well.
Zoomed in on my map feed. It's a regroup. It's a
Okay.
regroup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a full move.
Yeah.
Not a full move.
Anyway, let's. Analyzing this circle a little bit more because it does bear merit. Is that DX Xavier likely in the near future is going to have to drop down either on the north side or down on the west. They could hit up the southern buildings here, which wouldn't be a bad idea, but you would have to fight up against D+, which is slightly hard. Also for D+, this is a ginormous game. This is a ginormous game for D+. It's a really good chance to get quite a few eliminations, get yourself a chicken dinner. I think if they get themselves up towards the middle of the pack, there is hope for tomorrow.
I don't know why Doc just went down. He was trying to reverse a vehicle or something, maybe climb up in the vehicle to the top of the hill. But APG, that was a completely unforced knock and flush. Coming through for that one. And APG will be playing on us too. They're going to have to drop down. They do not have an option. Fortunately, D+ not really watching this angle. Solus might catch them though. As they try and drop down, they will start to cross into sight lines. Teams will start to take shots. Blank. We're into minute 27 now. And there is still 11 teams alive.
It's a good wrap from Goat as well, by the way. It's a nice wrap from Goat. That's on the southwest side. They were at the back of the queue here, but they're able to get in. Not too much shots taken back towards them because the team that would be holding them out is King, and he is a solo there from Thunder Talk. And there's no team that is across the road either. So everyone was able to make a pretty astute rotation into this one, which is what you would expect at PMGC. So I'm happy to see that.
Point denial coming through from Ulf. Yeah, he burns himself out there. Not going to be allowed, but the knock sent back over towards, that is APG. Reefer's actually getting flushed by DXavier, who will have to leave their high ground now for Shawsies on that east side. They're going to have to drop down. And finally, teams are going to start to take the tumble. And rightly so, because at stage 8, and nobody's told them, it seems, that there's supposed to be single-digit team numbers at this stage.
I mean, I know.
Come on!
10 teams remaining here.
What are you doing?
Is kind of silly, but I don't mind it too much. It's quite exciting. We're going to see if DXavier can make this cross down. I think it's going to be very hard for them to make it happen. Where do they really go here? They'd have to crash into the Flash. But the Flash, you can see there, they're pulling pins on grenades and putting pins back in grenades. They are very prepped and ready for this kind of play from DXavier. They will know that a team's playing on top of the mountain as well. But an interesting maneuver from Mad Bulls, trying to get further in here under the preamble that a lot of the teams on the eastern side are going to have to move. Alpha 7's got a tough approach ahead of them. They can't really make this cross either whilst DXavier's up here on the eastern side, John.
I mean, it is DXavier who probably are going to have to move first. Alpha 7 can hunker down. But I think DXavier just crash onto Alpha 7. I don't know if they have too many other options at this stage.
I mean, you could do the Flash. You could do the Flash.
Oh, could potentially as well. Thunder Talk, last player standing. King, he's been alive for a while. Goat, yet to breach the building. They haven't spotted him, but he certainly knows about them. Waiting for them to jump on in. Oh, I think they've spotted him now. No, they haven't. He doesn't know. Is he going to jump in through a window? He's waiting for the Vault. King is holding his time, biding his time here, holding his nerve. Killer Joe, step in.
Get him.
Okay, there we go. King's like, nah, we're just going for it now. We're going for the fight. Steps in for more, but won't be able to find the second. Will fall, but at the cost of one, Goat can't march forwards as effectively. Now it's go time. Blank a big nade from the high ground.
No, it's not a big grenade.
Oh, wait, not. No, it's a terrible grenade. It's a tiny little grenade. Carrillo. What are you doing?
Oh my God.
Not again.
Carrillo catches the nade like a seal on his nose. A nice trick, but not one you want to see here at PMGC.
Oh dear.
Dear me. Sending that one up as well. Unfortunate. But do you get two of the players there? So it was nicely done. They redeemed themselves fairly quickly. King is dethroned from inside the building, but I'm glad at least he was able to find the one knock and a flush. Goat can't really get cracking back up again, back in the blue ocean for him.
Now the teams are really going to start to suffer because it's stage 9 with 7 teams remaining. Alpha 7 getting naded out by Team Flash, who have 4 elims. Now Revo is pushing up to the wall side. Obscure on the back lines. Maybe looking to pick Carrillo back on up, but it's not to come through just yet. The nade goes long. That is a brilliant little flush out coming through from Win, but he gets caught. There's the burnout on the sidelines as well, and now it's just Zeus left standing. Alpha 7 may be able to make this cross. So many teams still left in this one, but for D+, Blank, this is what they needed so desperately. With 4 elims on the cards, they want more, they need more, and it has to come through now. Amori doesn't want to let that happen.
Come on, Amori, get those shots in. Alpha 7 vaulting into the building. ZS pulls the pin on the grenade, has to put it away really quick as Revo, the shotgun maestro, is here. Won't even need it. Uses the side up against him, basically.
And that's Amori to purloin that point from Alpha 7. R8 with another one. Pusher now pushing in towards Joker. Spots him. Launch the nade. Joker trying to play fancy on the feet. Will not find it, but Pusher goes down to the burn. That's Revo actually finding that Molotov and getting that elimination point. Now 3 teams remaining. Blank within the space of 30 seconds. We're down from 10 to 3. And R8 suffering. D+ looking to roll on through. They want more nades. They want more points. R8 do fall. 1 goes down. And now it's all up to Amori. A nade goes long, good on the bounce, but Amori's still alive. Hits the deck, stands out for the spray. Revo and Obscure for Alpha 7, the last challenge for D+, to find the final elim. But can they do it?
Oh no!
Fabian's
Oh
down.
no!
Oh
my
just
goodness
at the final
me!
moments. It is D+ here to put our nerves at ease. That was so close. And what a relief for them as well, to find the final chicken dinner today after what has been an abysmal performance, all things considered. They close down with success.
I mean, I'm looking at Alpha 7 over there. They're just as surprised as I am. So insane, so insane. What a play there. I think they got 3 of them total, and it was 1 player from D+ able to bring it back to action. But yeah, you can see Norbu actually looks sadder than usual.
That is saying something.
Yeah.
That is saying something. And it was a very low elim chicken dinner, is the thing. I
Yeah.
don't think they, I think they can't have got more than 3 or 4, or like maybe
It was 6.
6 elims. Oh yeah, they
no,
had
no,
4 at the
7.
start.
7 elims because they had 4 at the start. They got 2 onto there.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
7.
Still
I did not say 6, 7.
6.
I did not say it.
So about 6.
About 6
maybe
or 7.
maybe 1 more or so.
It could have been
We just don't know.
7 on 8. Potentially.
6.5, something like that on average. We are going to be closing down the day with a chicken dinner coming through for the defending champions. When they needed it most, from the bottom of the tables, they find a little step up. But will it be enough? Let's head back to the desk.
Man, a sigh of relief indeed. Our 2024 champions have been in trouble all day long, but finally here in the last match, they put something on the board.
In the weirdest way possible. In a city finish, D+ are like, we got this. And actually, it was initially because of a setup they had in the mid game. They had
Yes.
the 2-2 split. They held Church and a position in the center of the city itself, over to the east of Miramar. And later on, as they know, okay, this is 100% his 7 going to be a city finish, they fully regroup in like 2 buildings max, meaning that whatever fight they take, they're fully stacked together, ready for any fight coming their way.
And even then, a sketchy finish. Honestly, the player that I've been talking about this whole time, not usually Nobu, Osao. Osao clutches it up for the squad. And I mean, a great bounce back for D+, a much needed to finish the day. If not, it would have been a completely different story for this squad. Good to see. Hopefully they can continue on tomorrow, and hopefully it's not when a crazy circle like this happens. I have to give props to one player though.
Who's that?
At the end. And it's not going to be Carrillo, because Carrillo ended up naming himself, even though he got picked up by a teammate. It's going to be Revel. Revel was absolutely popping off throttle. Then you had the other player from Alpha 7, which I can't currently remember the name. He kept going after Carrillo, picking him up. Carrillo goes back down again. He tries to go for the pickup, and then he gets flushed out. Meanwhile, Revel was just up front and just charging at all the teams, using the utility. And at the end, Revel was the one that almost clutched it up for the squad.
It almost worked out perfectly there. Using the wall really to its full potential, waiting for you to get overpeaked by D+, which D+ got a little bit greedy at the end. It was like, wait, are you throwing this game? But I think that they just, okay, we'll just peek around the corner, go for the big pre-fire with the shotgun to the face, and that is going to be more than enough to wrap it up. They're looking at this still, these top 4 player stats. I'm waiting for Chips to perform. I remember right, Hodges.
Yeah,
Looking at the entirety of the league stage, Chips, top player, top player, top player, left, right, and center. So far, kind of invisible for this grand final. So you know what? It's just a matter of time before Chips is back, because so far it's not been the start we've been hoping for this guy.
What can I say? Osao just wants to be the MVP.
He's nading
My
Chips.
boy!
He naded Chips. I saw it happen.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, Chips, the whole stage was just going crazy. I was saying, he had that ice water in his veins, that clutch factor. But to be fair, man, D+, we're having a tough time all day long.
Looking at this mountaintop though in this replay, Xavier playing it again. How the hell do they get these amazing center positions
Again?
every single time? But I love the APG push right
Yes.
on top of, I believe it was DRX.
Yes.
And Hyunbin, not Hyunbin, sorry, there was, which player was hiding and he was not moving whatsoever?
It was somebody from DRX.
Yeah, a player from DRX. And actually, I think you pointed out something very interesting, because they did not spot out that player from DRX as APG push up.
Yep.
He does that build with, build with jump animation, which that build elevation alone 7, I think is what alerted them of his presence and get the easy nade wipeout.
That TPP advantage. You can see Osao there. This, just how much this meant to the team. And now we're going to be looking at the rotations from all the squads. One team, I got to point out, once again, I've been talking about them all day. R8 continuing on their aggressiveness today. They finished off this last match with 6 eliminations. And even though Alpha 7 didn't end up getting a bunch of elims, they're at least now able to secure some of those placement points. What was I talking about Alpha 7? I wanted to see some more of those placement points, and they were able to showcase it here, especially in Miramar.
And I think they played the city finish position really well. You're going to see as we move deeper and deeper into this game on their rotation recap. Here, playing next to the water. It's not going to be an island finish, but here on this circle, they go next to the cliff, which keeps them safe away from Xavier. And that's the best way to play these positions for Alpha 7, which is sweeping from the outskirts, moving inwards, and able to do that so many times here for Alpha 7. So, sure, it's not quite a win, but in a city finish, that is how you play a city finish, down to a T for Alpha 7.
Yeah, crazy numbers put on the board here, guys. D+, look at that, 18 points. That's more than triple of what they've done all day long so far.
Oh, wow.
It has been. I mean, for this squad, I'm hoping it as I said earlier, I'm hoping it continues on until tomorrow, and I'm hoping it doesn't come because of a crazy circle that we ended up getting. I gotta give props. Who was it? Pusher from Mad Bulls, where he ended up getting an insane nade. What team was it?
Kara.
That's right.
Yep.
I mean, if they can continue to do that, right now, Mad Bulls, they were able to at least secure some eliminations there. And then we go to the second half. APG, even though they don't end up getting those placement points, you were talking about it earlier, Max. You really enjoyed the adjustment from APG once they realized that DX was going to be looking at them.
Yeah, they're like, okay, well, Xavier are going to be holding that position on the other side of this big rock. We're just going to be giving it to you for free. We're going to go inside the church of the city, and it was a good transition point, but after that, D+ had the perfect setup to kind of eradicate the entirety of APG. But I saw you were excited there, Seven.
Yeah.
Osal, the game MVP. Let's go.
My boy Osal! Yes! 4 eliminations, clutching up that win.
We both have a boy from Korea. I have Hyunbin, you have Osal.
I mean,
It's a good pick.
QXCC, you know, my boy too, but
You can't have two boys.
He didn't get MVP on this
I'll
one.
take him. I'll take him.
All right, there you
go.
go. Hey.
Let's go. Let's go. What a crazy. Let's see the leaderboards,
Ooh.
though. Man, Xavier, Max, the consistency from this squad. That central position paying off so much. 35 placement points.
They would have gone more if it was not for the fact that it was a city finish where you got solo surviving super late. I think we had still 11 teams alive at the end, so you're not going to get many. If it was not a city finish, chances are they would still maybe make a top 5 finish in this game. So Xavier, wait, 35 placement points. Of course, they got 2 wins, which that's going to inflate it heavily. But
They're still
the second
15.
highest is what, 18 with DRX, which that is an insane lead in placement points alone to have on 1 day's worth of games.
And for everybody currently watching to that, I want you to keep an eye out on the eliminations for the Xavier, because that's going to be a little bit scary for me. And but before we even go into that, Reefus?
Whoa!
Wait,
Everybody from APG, he's the daily MVP?
So we got 3 global MVPs on the team, right? You
Yeah.
got Doc, you got Top, you got Zeol, and now Reefus is like, I'm going to join the club.
Let's go.
I'm going to be the global MVP club. And if he can make it happen and keep it up for the next 2 days, no way we get a new MVP on APG.
Reefus just say, you know what? I want the car. All right, I want it.
Yeah, but to be fair, I feel like there was a lot of doubt. Like, Reefus, people
Yeah.
are looking at Top, they're looking at Doc, they're looking at Zeol. Even Easter joined the team recently, but the fact that Reefus is stepping up in the team this stacked with storied players, Reefus, he's not crumbling under that pressure, and I love to see him perform under these kind of circumstances.
Whoever is in charge at APG, I want to let you know, congratulations on making one of the smartest moves on the roster, and that was bringing in East, because it sparked up the team. They were more than likely going to be sitting out top. That was not the case. As soon as top saw East come in, they were like, you know what? I got to step up my level, and boy, have they.
Man, what a crazy day so far. You know what, guys? It's time to hear from some of the players. Let's go ahead and take it on over to the stage with Barney for a sick interview.
The first 6 maps of the PMGC Grand Finals have now concluded, and one team name sits at the top of that leaderboard, and it is, of course, Xavier. So I've got Levi here joining me for a very quick interview. Levi, what an impressive first day. You know, 2 winner-winner chicken dinners. You guys have been incredible throughout. I just want to ask you a little bit, if we wind the clock back, since qualifying via the gauntlet, what have you and the team been focusing on in order to come into day 1 so strong?
Xin chào Levi's, thì các bạn đã có một cái khởi đầu rất là bùng nổ. Vậy thì và mình đã vào trực tiếp vòng chung kết từ vòng quán lịch. Vậy thì đội của mình đã tập trung vào những điều gì để giúp các bạn có được màn biểu hiện như hôm nay?
Bọn em tập trung vào việc đi bo và việc luyện tập kỹ năng mềm thôi ạ.
We focus on circle rotation and practicing our skills.
Speaking of rotations, something that the casters and the analysts have picked up on today especially has been your rotations and your utility usage as well. So getting into really good positions and also defending those positions really well. I just want to hear from you, how happy are you with you and your team's performance today?
Thì hôm nay cái việc đi bo của các bạn cũng như là sử dụng trang bị rất là tốt. Các bạn vào vị trí sớm và đã bảo vệ thành công khu vực của mình. Vậy thì mức độ mà mình hài lòng với phong độ ngày hôm nay của mình là như thế nào?
Bọn phong độ ngày hôm nay của bọn em vẫn 50-50, cần khắc phục những lỗi của cá nhân trong team nữa.
Well, I feel about 50% happy with our performance today. We still have some individual mistakes that we need to improve on.
50%, and you're at the top of the leaderboard. That's pretty good. Final question, I just want to ask about your confidence. Going into tomorrow, clearly you guys should be feeling supremely confident. However, a lot of teams will now be looking to you and maybe looking to single you out or even adapt to your play style. How do you feel about that? Or how do you feel about going into tomorrow?
Vậy thì không biết là nghĩ đến ngày thi đấu ngày mai thì cảm xúc của mình như thế nào, mình nghĩ như thế nào? Tại vì mình có thể là cũng tự tin đúng không? Nhưng mà cũng có thể là các đội khác sẽ theo dõi mình và thích ứng theo lối chơi của các bạn. Thì bạn cảm thấy như thế nào?
Ngày mai bọn em vẫn bắn thế này thôi mà cần phải tập trung hơn.
Well, we will still play as we do today, but we need to focus more tomorrow.
Focusing more tomorrow. Xavier sitting at the top of the leaderboard. What an incredible day. Levi, thank you so much for joining us in this post-match interview. We can't wait to see what you and Xavier bring into tomorrow's matches. But for now, let's head back over to the desk to round out day one of the PMGC Grand Finals.
Hey, love to be able to hear from Levi right there. But one of the questions that stood out to me is that he said he was only 50% happy. Seven, why do you think that is?
Even the last answer, he was like, we just need to focus on tomorrow. Levi's, look at me real quick. Don't just focus on tomorrow. I want to see more eliminations from this squad. That's going to be the big question mark. And I'm pretty sure if we don't talk about it right now, we'll talk about it tomorrow at the beginning of the show.
Yes, we will. So, guys, of course, for one last time, we're going to give a big thank you to the Infinix GT30 series, the official gaming phone for 2025 PMGC. Engineered for precision, performance, and victory. Go get yours out today so that way you guys can outplay the rest. By the way, for one last time, make sure you guys hop in the game, get your predictions going. I'll tell you what, man, if you're going to predict Xavier being in the center circle, I think you might just be right on that one, Max.
As per usual. No, actually, I really want to go back to your point you were talking about right there, right? Seven, about Xavier.
Yes.
And getting more eliminations. That Miramar game, I feel like you need to understand when not to peek too much. Don't get involved in the fight you're not willing to take at that point. You're not ready to take at that point. That is one thing that if we can see fixed tomorrow, that could heavily increase the amount of elims they can get per game.
And now that I have a little bit more time to actually talk about that point, it has to come down. What happens if they don't end up getting fed those circles over and over again? They need to find ways to get those points besides just those placement points. I want to see them being able to do that.
Well, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you later.
Every second that I breathe is going down in history. We are victorious, can't stop me. Maybe today we'll fight our battles. I'll show you the way if you can handle it. You follow me. Circumstance, no, I won't back down, no matter how they show up to lose.
Yo, I'm back with my squad, fight for my squad, chasing that hot glory, trying to make a story, never been the one to own it, now's the chance to show it, PUBG Mobile, striving to be a mogul, get your hopes up, number uno, not so far from you, so move on.